Oh, we're live. Okay, there we go. So, welcome everyone. Hope all of you all are doing great. Welcome to another exciting session of Tales of Tellos, the Steam Age. We're back. Last week we were had to take a little time off due to some situations occurring. So happy we're back, and we're hoping that today will be a good session for everyone. I am the dungeon master for the game, Order, and I'm joined by these amazing people that are the players for the day. If you this is the first time joining us, welcome. We have all of our previous sessions recorded, and they're on our YouTube channel. If you're a longtime viewer or you've been here a few times, welcome back. Always happy to have everyone here watching the shenanigans that happen. So. Uh, we also have our twin campaign, which is the hosted by DM Chaos, who is also known as Lance here, called the Guild campaign, which is about Age of Antiquity, with many of the individuals or adventurers starting to explore or sorry, let me take that. Age of Antiquity. Several individuals or most individuals are associated with the Guild. This conglomerate government academy sort of situation, Adventurers Guild that essentially controls everything as well as the quests that go out for it. So we're just got to level 2 and we're going on our summer break vacation. So it'll be interesting to see how it develops. Lance.
Incorrect. Next week we are doing a special one shot on Thursday this week.
Yeah, yeah, that
yeah,
is true.
uh, I'll
Sorry.
introduce that part.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna be doing the a compressed version of the campaign A Year Without Cinder Claws, which is not showing up, which is by Hack Shack Games. So we are going to do actually a compressed version of that campaign because that is supposed to be a 3-level campaign, and I'm going to compress it into a one shot. So,
yeah,
and it is Christmas themed, and all the characters are very Christmassy.
Yep, it should be an interesting thing, and yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. So, but yeah, the one shot is going to be a fun one next week. Otherwise, if you want to watch another campaign concurrent for this one, tune in for the guild one. Also, the one shot does take place in the same world, so could still fit with everything.
Yeah, it's semi-canon one shot.
Excellent. All right. Just want to open the floor. Does anyone else have any other announcements or things before we officially get started with the kind of like the recap?
You're all sexy. That's all.
There. Awesome.
Are you talking to us as players or Gason's NPCs?
Yes, and our viewers. They're also quite attractive.
There you go.
Amazing.
All right. Without further ado, let's get started with session 18 of the Steam Age, or the Steam Age Tales of Tellos. All right. Last time, our adventurers, our group of our group that has been gathered about through different walks of life, different destinies, and different personalities and such, decided to gather about and are getting ready for their first quest as the Seventh Fort. Some of the group had joined the guild, the Skender's Guild over in Jeddah, and some of them had decided to forego the opportunity in order to keep a lot of options available for them. After the group had over the last few days, they had gone through the whole process. Some of the members had, at least, where they had gone to the interview, undergone the combat trial, and then did the signing the next day, where they had officially joined the guild. Afterwards, the next day, which was the 4th, which is today, the adventurers gathered about and accepted their first quest through Big Red, who approached Sundus, one of the barbarian fighter individuals of Skender's Guild, and from there went forward with the quest or accepted the quest for to eliminate several serpentkin that were threatening several of the oases in the Tanin Desert. The group split up quickly, some individuals securing rooms and board for when they return, other individuals going about to get the supplies that are needed, whether it was potions and other items, and then others went over to get the mounts that they would need to cross the desert. 2 camels as well as 1 horse was purchased, and the group then set off in the late morning, heading over towards from leaving Jeddah around the entire Lake Al Janoum and heading towards the town of Bavard. It is there that we are picking up our scene with the group arriving about mid-afternoon or a little late afternoon to the town for it. The group gathering about, resupplying, or at least getting all their mounts and other such watered as they are getting ready to trek forward into the Great Tanin Desert, in which case they will hopefully survive the heat as well as overcome any of the challenges that may transpire. So, adventurers, if all of you would be so kind as to roll me a d20 to see what's going on with all of your characters.
How did you guys do on this last week? Or 2 weeks ago?
I think we did well. I'm trying to remember if we did. I think we did, and it was a decent spread for it.
Alice, what happened? Chance, what happened?
They're ready. That's
Seriously. Or what happened to all of us?
what happened.
We're gonna die.
No,
This is
no.
how we die.
Adventure.
Don't worry, I'm still predictable.
Oh, okay. Zanny gets to go on again with another party dying on her.
All right, let's see. So we have Alice with 17, Calliope with a 10, Chance with a natural 20.
I am
Awesome.
I am both a vehicle in the game and I'm driving a vehicle in real life, so no D20 from me right now.
That is true. M did assume the form of a mount. Right now, he's currently as a horse, but he does plan on switching to any different form, including a camel, on the way for it. So we'll skip. Drive safe.
Who was writing M?
I believe it was Zanny and Big Red, the two small individuals. So, and then Erlon, you had the wait, 17. There we go. So Alice and Erlon, if you could do rollies, roll one more time a d20.
I love that you called it rollies.
Yep. And let's see, 12 and 8. So yeah, Erlon, you beat it just by a smidge with it. So perfect. All right, let's start with Chance. What is Chance doing as she arrives to Bavard with things going forward? Anything in particular she's doing as the group has arrived to this town, this sort of launching point before the Tanin Desert?
Riding a camel?
Fair enough. If nothing else, or well, I'll just ask anything else aside from riding a camel, or just riding the camel?
I mean, like, what sort of things are you like? What are you looking for? What are you looking for me to be doing?
Just seeing if you have like any other things you want to do, or if you're going to be, as you're arriving to Bavard, if you're planning on doing anything in town, any last minute purchases, any last minute
I don't know what's
escapades.
here. I don't know know anything about the town, so I'll find out when we get there, I guess.
Fair enough. All right. With that being said, we'll circle back if needed to Chance. Let's go to Lance. You rolled 18. Anything you are doing as you are arriving to Bavard or getting the mounts watered?
No, if we're just arriving and getting the mounts watered, then I'm good.
Okay.
And everybody would have seen Sheldon's new form today on the ride, I assume.
You all would have seen that Lance has transformed Sheldon into a flying snake. And I could just automatically tell Big Red's reaction. So yes, Sheldon is now a flying snake, wrapped around Lance. I'm assuming like his arm or something.
Yeah.
I resist the urge to shoot it.
Awesome.
Sheldon likes Zanny, so he probably came over and like did the tongue thing like on the side of Zanny's face.
Oh, that is no. Lance. Lanes, make it stop. Make it stop.
It's a shielded.
I know, but it's doing the tongue thing in my ear. Stop it.
It tickles when they do that.
I know, that's why I want you to stop it.
Shielded leaves Annie alone.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Let's go then next to Big Red. What is Big Red doing as you guys are just arriving to the town? Anything you want to do or any interactions, anything at all as you're just arriving into town?
Just enjoying the ride. I'm with Zanny, so just kind of just talking a little bit and then just heading on in, seeing what's next.
Great. Awesome. Let's go then next to Alice. What is Alice doing? I do think you mentioned before that she had been what do you call it? Sleeping a little bit in the summer heat.
Oh yeah, she napped on Calliope's shoulder. There's a nice drool spot on Callie's back at this point that hopefully she has the good graces not to say anything about. But no, she spent most of the ride talking with Callie, and now that they're kind of getting into town, she's finally waking up because she was out like a light, like a light.
Awesome. Anything she's doing as you guys are arriving, or just kind of like stretching everything out?
She's stretching. She's getting herself back to normal. She's not bothering Callie, but she's kind of like pointing at things as they go by, just like, have you ever seen? Have you ever? This is such a small town. There are like 3 people in here. And she's just like trying to figure out what she's going to do in this town.
Yeah. In the town, relatively, the size of it is similar to Wahatwa. I believe I have in the notes, Wahatwa has approximately 21.6 thousand people. Bavard has 24.8 thousand. So roughly the same size. It's a what's interesting to note for it is as you are entering Bavard, a lot of you are seeing like large, huge like buildings, but this is a little bit not realistic for like normal people who would be walking about or residing here for it. Alice, since you're the one looking around and seeing things, roll me a history check, as well as anyone else who would potentially just be looking around or trying to remember any other facts about Bavar.
My character sheet was the one thing I forgot to open. Got it, we're good.
All right. 25, 20, and 18. Excellent. All right. So, Alice, you would know that Bavard is definitely a place that a lot of people, a lot of the nomads, whether they're coming from, and let me zoom in the map a little bit for it. So a lot of the people who are traveling, a lot of the nomads coming from the Tanin Desert or the Kahira Desert or any of the Grand Oases, travel over to Bavard to trade. So there's a lot of commerce that's going on there that you would be a bit familiar with and know kind of like, okay, this town isn't really meant, or at least there's some farms a little bit, but not really. It's mostly for commerce. And there's a lot of people that come and go that fill the streets, oftentimes in waves for it. Right now, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people, which makes sense. Probably like an off season, or not a lot of caravans have arrived yet for any particular cycle or reason for it. For Lance and Chance, the two of you would know that a lot of the architecture is actually designed to help accommodate for giants. A lot of the giants, especially up in the sky, the cloud giants, have sometimes graced or come down to mingle with the people of Bavard, not really preferring the big city, so to speak, but just to kind of like do also trading or just enjoy themselves on the surface, specifically cloud giants and their their group, their posse for it. You also would then think, and Lance, you would be the only one who knows this, the Arif does have treaties with a lot of the cloud giants, and one of the reasons why skyships are not allowed in or around Aramarum is because the giants said no. They will strike down basically any skyship that comes in the skies of Aramarum. It's a no-fly zone for it, at least near the sky for it. And Bavard is basically the one place where they are willing to do trade and such. Awesome. All right, let's go then. As Alice is pointing things out, Let's go next to Calliope. You rolled the 10. Anything Calliope is doing?
How far out are we from the town, or are we actually in the town?
You guys are actually in the town at this moment. You're getting watered. You're at kind of like the free watering holes for it, or near like the lake itself. You are able to get the mounts watered, and you're pretty much able to also, if you want, go into town a bit and try to do some of shopping or last minute purchases over at the Independence Bazaar.
What do you think, Alice girl? You want to go shopping?
Darling, I didn't think you were one for shopping. I mean, of course I want to go shopping, but I don't exactly have the funds to do so.
Neither do I, but that doesn't mean we can't shop.
I like your thinking. I don't like being poor, though, so we're going to have to finish this job quickly so I can spend all of the money we're going to get from this. How much money are we going to get from this?
Well, I don't know.
You
like
all would remember that they are
100,000.
offering 100,000 silver for if you kill the Serpentkin without compromising any of the oasis.
I couldn't remember if they
50,000.
told Erlon or not, or just all of us.
They would have told all of you.
Oh,
As part of kind of like debriefing. So 100,000 if it's a success without any issues to the oasis. 50,000 if the oasis is compromised, because then they're gonna have to ask the druidic ring to try to go and purify the water after the fact.
Honestly, I'm
Any
not sure.
laws against? I'm sorry,
No,
Alice.
you're fine. Go ahead.
No, you.
I'm just blabbering.
Any laws against riding a horse in town, or?
No, a lot of people allow you, like, this is a very laissez-faire sort of town. Just as long as there are areas where of course you're not going to be able to bring the horse in, like through the bazaar is much more condensed or compact of an area
Sure.
for it, as well as like any of the indoor buildings. But otherwise, just walking through town with a horse or a camel is perfectly allowed and reasonable.
Let's. Why don't you go ahead and hold on, darling? I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make an entrance. And when Alice is holding on tight, I'm going to go ahead and spur Puddin a little bit, and we're going to have some fun.
Okay, define fun.
We're going to enter the town real fast.
Okay.
Kicking up dirt. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to pull her up short so that she I forget what do they call it, where the two front legs come off, like kind of wheel her up, just making an entrance.
All right. Perfect.
Are you gonna pop a wheelie on a horse?
Basically.
Pop a wheelie on a horse. All right. You gallop forward, and I'll ask, roll me a animal handling check. Yeah, just an animal handling check for it. Perfect. You're able to do it with ease. You're able to spur, put it on, gallop forward, and then rear her up as you enter in a very spectacular fashion. A lot of people kind of like, you got a lot of people's attention, and then kind of like the dust cloud follows right after, and you both are covered with dust a bit.
But tell me that Alice is at least having a good time and smiling.
Alice starts off by holding on desperately to you because she has no idea what you're doing, and then she starts like doing that very loud, just giddy laughing as you rear back on Puddin, and she's holding very tightly though.
Sure. Okay, that's all she wanted to do it for.
Her laughing does turn to like coughing as they're engulfed in a dust cloud though.
Just a little bit of dust from it. I mean, you're not yet in the desert. There's a lot of like grass and other things, but it's definitely like a dirt road. So just kicking it up at that high speed does happen. Oh,
Awesome.
As I see. All right, perfect. Zanny, what is Zanny doing as you all arrive in Bavard?
I'm is red in front or behind?
It's a good question. What's the writing order between the two of you on M?
Because neither one of us is really driving Embrin.
Yeah.
So.
We're not driving. No.
Nobody's really driving. It's just who's in front.
I can pull the rear, I guess.
It's fine either way. It's just whether or not you get the doctor's bag in your back or you just watch me do it in front of you.
Okay, I'm in front of you.
Just use your back as a rest and slap out the back.
Yeah.
And just do an inventory. Just not flinging things everywhere, but just rearranging. Just okay, good. Just making sure that we don't have to buy anything when we need to restock or anything.
Yep. All of
Make
you
sure
would
we got
know,
everything.
and this would be something you guys may have discussed or can discuss at this moment. This is your last stop before venturing into the desert. So if there's any last minute purchases or other things you want to do before you go into the desert, you can. You have several hours still left. It is the middle of summer. Even if it's late afternoon, you can easily do a good 4 hours or even more before the sun even sets. So this is not the end of day windup. This is more last stop, so to speak.
Quick question, DM, on purchases. I know we talked about it in the chat, but I never officially said it. I already had marked off the silver for it, but getting all the stuff to do the summonings 3 times.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Also, Lance, roll me a perception check. 15. You would have noticed, especially because of your particular interest in this for it, you would have noticed at least the paper for the Desert's Herald when it came to either in Jeddah or even here as you are walking through four things with the headline. And I'll just zoom this up as there's been some developments with the Civil War. And that's it.
That's just that's not Lance's hometown, right?
No, that's north
Okay.
of their hometown. That is
Okay.
one railroad away from Timosh and Zarek.
Gotcha. Lance would point that out to Alice, be like, "Hey, they took Asanya. I wonder if Tamash and Zerk are going to be next."
Now we really need to not stay in Jeddah and we need to move on. We need to move on. I'd like to be able to go to Tamashk.
But do we want to be there if it's going to have bad things happen to it?
No, I'd like to personally go before the bad things happen to it so I can prevent my family from having bad things happen to them.
Actually, I guess the West taking it, depending on how they take it, may not be a bad thing.
Lance.
No, I'm just saying.
Her
I'm not.
family.
No, I'm not. I'm saying if they attack, it's a bad thing. But if
You're not
Lance would-
making it better.
no, Lance would know the Arif's name, right? DM.
Say that again?
Lance would know the Arif's name over there.
Yes, Arif Malik Al Sadiq.
Yeah.
Arif Malik, for sure.
If Arif Malik does what I would expect him to do, which is just bend over when they come, then it should be a bloodless conquest, and they shouldn't be too much collateral damage, so your family would still be safe. That spineless man is not going to defend that city. He's going to give up the first chance he gets.
What about the guild?
What about them?
Would the Dawn Colors just bend over?
I don't think the guild's big enough to take on an army.
I mean, sure, but if someone came to Jeddah, do you think Erlan would just let them march through the gates? That man would walk at them. The one version of him, he'd just walk at him with an axe and be like, "Fucking fight me, I'm Big Red."
Did you just say fucking?
I'm trying to embrace the adventurer lifestyle.
Hey, I like it. And Lance, she's right. I mean, if she's got kin in Tamashk, we got to go get him out of Tamashk.
Would
I
you
will
like me
say-
to send a sending to my uncle and see what's going on?
Or I will offer for Alice, Callie, and Lance who are having this discussion. Any of you three can specifically roll an insight check as well.
Yes. I am good at those.
Yep. All right. Callie, you know that surprisingly, or not surprisingly, so you know from your time in the Wanton Woman group, you know that, hey, if something is getting tough or if there's a lot of people closing in on you, sometimes the options are you kind of like the fight or flight sort of situation. This situation with the West with Hassania does feel Hassania did not want to give up and was originally part of the neutral central regions.
Okay.
They refuse to pick a side. Both the West and the East have had enough, and they pinned it and took it. One side at least took it. You get the feeling that this may be a message to the others to start picking a side. Otherwise, armies at your door sort of situation.
So
And I will say for the rest, Lance, you're still kind of like of the mindset of like, yeah, just the Arif Malik in Timash will just bend over whatever. Alice, you're a little uncertain because now the question is which side would Timash side with, as well as what is going to happen with Aramarum, with Jedna, as well as with Zarek. Are they going to form a coalition to defend themselves, or are they going to kind of like leave each region alone to themselves, or like how they did with Hassania? But go ahead, Kelly.
if 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 this goes the way I expect it to go, there might be examples made. And if there's examples made, and I'm not saying there is, if there's examples made, I think we put a little bit of distance between Alice's kin and those examples.
Honestly,
It's
if
called
they were,
sending a point. I'm
that's,
sorry.
no, my family is relatively safe, regardless. I mean, they're not going to come for the upper middle class. It's not like they're the nobility or anything, and they're also not the poor who have nothing to lose. They're just comfortable. So, honestly, I feel like they're probably the safest.
My family's probably in more danger than hers is. Good for them.
The thing that I would ask you to consider, and then I'll drop it, is the way you change, the way you win people to your side is you start with the unwashed masses. And once you start with the unwashed masses and you get them on your side, that's a tidal wave that ain't necessarily going to break until it hits a mountain. So we'll do what y'all want, but it's something that at least should be monitored.
I agree. We should keep an eye on it.
I will send my uncle a sending when
All
we
right.
get settled in for tonight, and we can check with, have him give us a status update of Tamash.
Sounds good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you said I'm going to send
Sorry.
my uncle ascending. Kind of like paused for half a second. I'm like,
I paused because
right.
then I was like, nah, we'll do it later.
And then I was like, okay, didn't mean to interrupt there.
Nope, you're fine.
So, all right. With these new developments, I'm just going to ask if anyone wants to do anything specific in Bavard, or if your character is ready for the trip and you guys are just moving on into the desert. So I kind of like showcase the map for it, and if you guys want to look at the pretty much the only thing that would be of interest would be the bazaar, if that, or maybe one of the bars, such as like Eclipse. But otherwise, time's ticking. You want to kind of like get here and then get out to try to get through the desert as much as you can. So let's go up and just see if anyone has any thing for it. Starting in with Chance. Is there anything in Bavard that you would be interested in doing while you in your brief stay here, or would you just stick with the group ready to go?
No, if she was gonna go here, it would be like a separate trip. I didn't think that we were intending to stay here, so
Okay, sounds good. Let's go then next to Lance. You're at that 18.
Lance will send that sending that night.
But we're gonna do one more roll before night comes.
Okay.
So
the only other thing I guess he would do is he might go to one of the bars and just kind of get an idea about how someone may get a hold of the face sculptor.
I'm sorry, say it I got distracted for half a second and then I heard something, then face sculptor. Sorry.
He might go to one of the bars to see if there's any rumors going around of how to get a hold of this face sculptor wizard guy.
So you're gonna kind of like make a quick stop at one of the bars and try to get more information.
Yeah, you said
Alright.
we have 4 or 5 hours before it gets dark, right?
Yeah, you want to at least leave here within like 30 minutes or an hour to try to get that full four or like metagame, like 4 hours of travel for it to be a good roll for it. So if you're gonna be going to the bars, roll me a charisma. Well, yeah, first roll me a charisma check, then roll me a persuasion check. Charisma 8, okay. And then persuasion 12. Just for fun, roll me a d20. 15. Okay. Cool. Give me one quick second. So you would know, or at least at this moment, and when you're at one of the bars, you would realize that actually you're not the only adventurers that are in this neck of the woods for it. Other adventurers from Skender's Guild are actually here for it on their own quests that they have to do for fulfilling for it. And I'm right now pulling up their the tokens for them. So give me one quick second. There you are. So 3 of them that you would notice or at least see would be, well, you wouldn't know their names, but you would have seen them a little bit from like afar or and such, like especially if you were with like Alice during like the signing, kind of like hanging back but not going in. You would notice like a blonde half elf, sort of like wearing all black with an orange hood or cape for it. You would notice a female half orc, definitely a barbarian with her armor and great axe, as well as a small folk. Looks like a warrior with his sword, but not entirely certain about that. Through natural conversation, you Big Pink. um, just which of the 3 would you approach just to kind of like get a little bit more info on the area?
Clearly the orc.
Okay, you go to the female orc.
Because Lance speaks Orcish, so he doesn't speak.
Sure, that's the only reason.
He doesn't speak little person.
You have an issue with small folk. You go to the female orc and you introduce yourself. She introduces herself as Sutha. You ask her just like a little bit, and they mention that they're in town, these 3, to catch a displacer beast. The displacer beast is running amok. It's sort of feral. It once belonged to someone, but then got out. It's getting a little wild. They need to catch it, but not kill it. So they're dealing with that and trying to find it and chase after it all across the town. You ask her about the faceless or the face maker or face carver or shaper and whatnot, and I'm gonna roll to see if she would have any information on it. With a 5, she does not.
Yeah.
You are able to get a feel that this area, probably if you spend enough time, maybe you would be able to get more information about it. You definitely would need to be like sitting there for several hours drinking, because from what you're able to tell from like the bartender or the barkeep, because they change their form, they're not, you would be able to tell that they themselves are not a changeling, but they really are very gifted with transmutation to change the body or the face of a person. So they come and go erratically to try to evade the constables.
Gotcha.
All right. Awesome. Anything else before we move on to the next person?
Nope. And Lance has a new friend named Big Pink, who he's not going to call her that, but because he does not want to get his ass kicked in a bar.
Yeah, probably not. She does seem a little punchy with things. So
Lance
right.
was his normal, charming self, which means he probably almost got hit anyways.
With that 8 charisma, maybe. All right. Let's go next to Alice. Or actually, no, sorry. Or Big Red. We went from Big Pink to Big Red. Big Red, what are you doing in Bavard, if anything?
Is there a way to find out if maybe some of the bounties here in the bazaar are like gonna be what we're going after or who we're going after?
Yeah, you can try to do some research into it. Um,
How long would that take, though?
that would take maybe like a couple of hours for it. You could try to
Mm.
get like a little bit of a head start a bit with it, especially if you're following. Well, let me ask this: is would Big Red go with Lance in all of this, or would he more try to strike out on his own?
Probably just go on his own.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask for separate rules here for it. Roll me a charisma check, and an investigation check.
Charisma investigation. Oh, I did the investigation first, just so you know.
Okay, not a problem. 19's great.
Charisma. Not good.
Um, uh, how do you think Big Red would offend someone here?
Just obviously yelling. I don't know.
Yeah, yelling definitely. He's like goes into like a quiet area or like no. Here's what he does. He goes to one of the schools and it's like a Big Red over when like the children are trying to study. The teacher throws some chalk at Big Red. So you go to a different area. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. That's not good.
Hey, keep that chalk. That shit's expensive.
It's really good.
But yeah, you come off a lot arrogant to a lot of people, which doesn't help you a lot until finally you work with or you just go and you talk to one of the barkeeps, and they do mention a wizard that can apparently change people's faces, and you do wonder maybe this person may be a point of interest, especially if perhaps someone wants to get away. Anyone who has like a bounty on them may want to utilize their services.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Lance would have told you that was who he was looking for.
But would Big Red have listened to Lance?
No. But at least he said it.
Yep.
At least he said it.
All right. Anything else, Big Red?
No, I think that was basically it.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's go to Alice. Is there anything Alice would be doing here in Bavard, her last stop at civilization before trekking into the desert?
No, she is really just trying to urge everybody to get back into their appropriate vehicles and move the heck along. We need to get going. So if we're not moving, she's pacing around, kicking dirt and that kind of stuff, very frustrated, but she's trying to get people to.
I have a question does Alice have a pocket watch or any timekeeping device?
The sun?
The sun? That's fair enough. So fair enough.
No, she has Bruce normally.
And he does have a pocket watch.
He does have a pocket watch.
Also in his character art. So yeah, that makes sense why she just doesn't carry one around for it.
We need to get Alice a watch.
I mean, there are watches that are available at the bazaar.
Can you imagine Alice with a timepiece?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm like.
I don't think anybody wants that.
I kind of do.
Can we get her a broken watch?
If you guys want to get a watch and then break it.
How much is a watch?
What kind of watch? So there's a lot. You have to understand. That's a loaded question because there's like, oh yeah, a simple wind-up watch, like 100 silver, or you want a gold watch, like intricately made with diamond studs. There's a huge price range for it, but the starting is 100 silver.
Okay. If Lance was gonna buy Alice a watch, it's got to be cheap. So what is?
So what? You get her a swatch?
I was gonna get her one of those like ring watches that you get in like a vending machine that cost a quarter.
Perfect.
Oh, see, I thought it was gonna be like a plastic Hello Kitty watch.
No, that's too expensive. I was thinking the one
will be available in C3, but not here yet.
I was gonna say I almost like it that she doesn't have a watch even more because she's even more like, no, we need to go right now. I have no idea what time it is. Get your butts on these camels and let's go.
Fair.
Alice, it's too damn hot to be on the desert right now.
But darling, it's not going to get much colder.
Yeah.
But when the sun goes down, it will.
Well, then get yourself a parasol.
No, not for us. For the camels and the horses at M.
The camels.
Do you want M to die of dehydration?
Imp's not going to die of dehydration. If anything, he's a druid. He's going to turn back into a person, and then he'll die of dehydration. So if he turns back into a person, we'll know he's thirsty.
Speaking of which, I will just ask Zanny, do you want to mention your purchase?
Oh yeah, when it was coming to my turn, I was going to start sorting things out and giving them out.
Okay, if we want to wait till your turn, or if you could be here in this conversation if you want, but if not, then we'll wait till your turn for it. All right, Alice, you are pacing about with everything. Roll me a wisdom saving throw just to see how
Just full on
patient.
meltdown mode. Yeah, full on meltdown mode.
Yeah, that's just frustrated. You're hot. You're stressed. You're like, "Oh, I want to just do this.
That means I'm
and-
drinking heavily.
Yes. So roll me a con save then.
Woo!
Okay, you are tipsy. Now roll me another con save because you're in the middle, you're heat. So heat stroke risk. Okay, you are okay at the moment, but you are tipsy at the moment.
She gets to a nice solid tipsy and it calms her down a little bit.
There we go.
She's still mad though.
All right. Let's
So that
go
was
next
2 bottles
to
in.
yeah. Callie, anything you're doing before you all strike out?
Alice, we're going to be here for a little while. I think that you need to just accept it. And instead of drinking your own supply, let's follow Lance and go get us a drink.
And that could be a thing because Lance is going to the bars, so you guys could drop a few silver and get some drinks at the bar.
Darling,
She's tugging on Alice's wrist.
the more I look. Okay, I will go with you, but I've learned with this group we're going to be here all day because 2 of them said, "Oh, we'll be right back in 30 minutes," and they won't come back in 30 minutes. They'll come back in 3 hours. The daylight will be gone, and they'll be like, "Oh, we have to camp here tonight," and now it's going to
I'll
take us
make you a
12
deal.
days.
I'll make you a deal. You give me the high sign when it's time, and I'll throw an ash hole fit. And that's going to make everybody want to go. I would do that for you.
Alice is just going to put her arm around Callie and go, "Darling, let me buy you a drink so you can be in the proper mindset for the perfect." Did you say ash hole?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. If you're being a butthead, I'm going to call you that.
Well, you have my permission. So we go into the bar.
Yep. So both of you roll me a d4. All right, 2 and 4, and both of you roll me a d10. Okay. Alice, you spend 26 silver on drinks, and Callie, you spend 47 silver on drinks.
Okay.
for it. So there you go. Drinks and just like other food stuff, anything you want, but you spend that silver just as you're waiting for conversing and relaxing.
She's pouring the drinks that she gets into her tankard, so
Okay.
she's not going to feel the effects.
Perfect.
I'm drinking water too.
Water only? Well,
No. Don't be ridiculous. Not water only. It's just if she drinks something, she's going to have some water with it because it's hot outside.
Gotcha.
And a snack. She's going to have a snack.
Yep.
Yeah.
You always gotta have a snack.
Yes. And it is good food. So
What kind of snacks do these bars have?
um
Are they like pretzel bars, popcorn bars, peanut bars?
they would have a lot of like several types of different kind of like nuts with it, so it's kind of like a little bit of a peanut bar for it, but they would also have the basic supplies, especially here with the commerce coming from like the nomads and such and getting kind of like shipments of vegetables and other goods to them to sell to the nomadic tribes and such for it. There's still a lot of different types of food staples out there, so like you're getting like free Ria fries as well as like burgers and such, any like traditional bar food you can imagine, as well as Irumic style food like hummus and baba ganoush and anything else that you'd like.
They don't have dates, do they?
They do. Dates are a staple. Yeah. Everywhere you go, there are dates. And they are they are amazing, especially because the sugar for it.
Oh yeah.
I see another kitty. Awesome.
It's
Sugar
Alice.
dates and
Alice.
peas. Sugar dates and pistachios.
Yes. Which is a great combo, I will say. All right, let's
Is-
go to Zanny. Or sorry, before Zanny, anything else, Callie, for you?
She's just going to ask Alice how much she'd give her to go over and kiss the orc full on the mouth. How much silver will you give me to go kiss that orc?
I'll give you 20, but I feel like you'd do it for free. I'll give you 20 if
Oh,
she
I-
doesn't. I'll give you 20 if she doesn't like it. Wait, no, hold on. Don't you have a girlfriend?
Shit.
Look, I'll give you 20 to not go do it.
I don't need 20 to not do the wrong thing.
I'm proud of you.
Fuck.
You're growing as a
Thank you.
person.
There we go. All right, now Zanny, the good doctor. Anything you're doing or in town before you all strike out?
She gets slightly amused at Alice's tirade about how we're gonna be late and we're not gonna leave, and then proceeds to walk off and join the lateness. But Zany just sticks with Embrin and is sorting through her stuff and just I got you a little gem. And if you need water, you just give me a nay and I got you covered. And starts looking around, sees Chance it. Oh, got you something. Hang on. And pulls out one of the potions of mana and hops off of Ember and walks over. I bought this for you while I was out.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Figure it helps keep somebody safe.
Awesome. All right. And with that said, the group does regather about, and you do have I would assume your timer goes off for things. Just to double check, are you back at your computer, able to do rolls or not yet?
Oh, me? Not yet. I'm
Okay,
like right
okay,
down the
no
road.
worries.
It should be like 5 more minutes or so.
Gotcha. I will say, especially over time, well, I will ask you, would M do like explorations or just stay with the group, at least at this moment?
Yeah, he would stay with at least someone in the group. He wouldn't go wander off on his own, because of the fact that we are in kind of a rush, and he still doesn't really know how time works, so he doesn't want to like go wander off and everyone leaves.
Yeah. What now I'm just thinking of Home Alone. Where's Kevin?
Where's Embrin? Embrin!
We left him in the bar.
Except for we can't leave. Embrin's the one we can't leave without because he's one of the rides.
Right?
It's like you can't leave the bar without the DD.
There you go.
Where would
That's
I park
true.
my druid?
I will mention just from you walking around, you are able, and I'll give this because without a roll for such, you are able to tell that this place is blessed by druids. You can definitely tell that it is enriched. There's a lot of nature that has been blessed here, and you get the feeling that one, the people here probably are very good and just well people. They're not like doing anything shady with nature, at least at this moment. It is more of a commerce town as opposed to an industrial town. So there's not any factories or workshops. There's just a lot of trade going back and forth for it. So probably a little bit on the good side with the druids because they're not doing anything for against nature for it. So there's a lot of fruit trees, a lot of things that the people are able to harvest and use for trade as well here in this town.
Awesome. Yeah. If we were staying here longer, he would do one of the 8-hour plant growths, but we're definitely not staying here that long.
Yeah, no. So maybe when you return, back for it. All right. The group regathers. Let me just roll a quick. Actually, I'll roll right here. Yeah, the group regathers about an hour and about hour 5 minutes for after things, and you all are then able to start heading out to the Tanin Desert. Any last things you guys are doing, saying before you strike out into the sweltering heat of the Tanun?
It's getting hot in here.
As everyone's as we're all regrouping, Zany starts pulling out some things. Says, "All right, did anyone need any extra blankets, bedrolls, stuff like that? I've got some extra potions.
Oh yeah,
This one,
that's probably a good idea. I got nothing.
Red. Here's one for you. Hand him a health potion. Amber, I got you a little gem here. This one's for you, Lance. Hand you a potion of mana. It's first level only, but it's only 2 I got, so one for each of you. And then I'm gonna take the other healing potion and I'll hand it over to Alice. Go. And this one's for you. Try to save it to save my ass again. I'd really appreciate that.
Of course, darling. I do my best to not need to drink these things. I don't think they taste very good.
Well, I mean, okay, I didn't make that one, but anyway, I try to make them taste better. And if
Black
anybody needs water,
licorice. If you need a flavor for next time, black licorice.
I'll pull a decanter out and just go. If anybody needs water, by the way, just let me know. And I got us covered.
Is that a decanter of endless water?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picked it up on the way out.
Genius.
Well, I figured, it's going to be expensive as the 9 hells to water all the animals and us all the time. So fix our problems before we start having them.
Well, also this way, if we accidentally pollute the oasis, we can just fill it full of water again.
There's that too, and we have another plan on that. Got something else I'm going to be working on while we got some time resting. Oh, and I got a shovel so that we can dig ourselves some good fires.
I thought you were going to say bury bodies, but okay.
I mean that too, but I kind of figured that would be happening eventually.
I
Yeah.
thought you didn't bury your buddies, Lent.
Well, I am a bad necromancer. I cannot actually raise the dead yet.
Oh my
Tried.
god, the
I'm
truth
so
comes
close.
out.
Are you
So
even a
close.
necromancer if you can't
I'm
do
so
that?
close, and this close, guys,
He
and this
just
close.
figured it out.
I think there's a difference between being a necromancer and knowing some necromancy magic.
I can suck the life force out of somebody and transfer it to something else. That's a good start.
So can I.
Bet you
That's
could
just
suck
called
more than
being
that.
married.
She has a valid point.
I
That was just
Don't
like an
even-
impromptu vicious mockery against Bruce all the way.
just all the way across the whole trade right away. Just Bruce just is like, ow, with his bard level.
hilarious.
That's a valid point. And Lance just ponders what was said. And
Perfect. All right. With that being said, the motley group. Well, let me ask. M, are you still gonna take on the horse form, or are you gonna switch to camel?
Yeah, I'll go camel. That's fine. Well, whatever's more comfortable for the people riding, I guess.
are you going to be a single hump or a double hump camel?
Double hump camel will probably be more comfortable. So,
There you go.
I have a DM question.
sure.
Do you consider the decanter of endless water to be an extra dimensional container,
You'd be calling an appliance guy.
or is it a conjuration container?
It's a conjuration container. It has a portal. It basically is a portal to the water dominion. It's not, though, an extra dimensional space.
So you can put it in like a bag of holding. And it's not going to
Correct.
cause the world to end.
Yep. You can even put it in a bag of colding, but the colding won't affect the temperature of the water.
That was my next question: is if I asked Zadie, we can put it in the bag of cold, do we get cold water?
Nope, because it's a portal directly into it, so it's not affecting the other side of the portal water.
Okay,
So.
that answers both of my question. My question and my follow-up question.
Yep, but you can store it in there, and it's good to go for it.
Can you pour water from the decanter into your bag of colding, and then we pull cold water out of the bag of colding?
Yes.
Actually, yes. That's okay. Here's another question: how long does it take something to get cold in the bag of holding?
I would depend on the thing. I would say water. If you pour it into like a gourd or something and then stick it in the bag, maybe like 5-10 minutes.
Okay, so we have a ton of glass bottles, so we just need to chug all of our Coca Colas and Valley Drops, and then fill the bottles back up. Just keep
I mean,
the
if you
caps,
guys want to
guys.
do that, you absolutely
do you-
can.
Do you not have like I just have like a water canteen for water, like we could just put those in there. We don't have to use the glass bottles.
Yeah.
That is.
I plan on
a-
just refilling canteens and then just digging troughs for the animals with the shovel that I bought.
You know, a canteen probably would have been something cool to have.
Cool. I bought you an extra one. I bought like 2 extra of a couple of things. So
Lance is
Very
looking through his
excited
bag
to
and going, "I
prepare.
have no like adventuring supplies.
yeah.
I've got a pen. I've got a bag of sand."
Do you got a blanket?
Wait. I want everyone to acknowledge this. Lance says he has a bag of sand
Lance is going through his bag and he's like,
In the
Wait,
desert.
I got a
wait.
book.
with
I've
this in front of you all.
Lance is like, I got a bag of sand. I got a pen.
We're in a fucking desert and you have a bag of sand?
It's special sand.
To be fair, last time we were fighting somebody, I did have Naysir put sand in one of the bandits' eyes, so maybe he's just wants to throw sand at somebody.
Also, to be fair, it's kind of like your smart person starter kit. When I went to the academy down south, they started me with the damn bag of sand. I got the same fucking bag in my fucking inventory too.
Well, yeah, you can take the bag of sand. That's what you practice your spells on. If you want to lift something, if
Yeah.
you want to, you use it's a little.
Yeah, you use
need
your
dummy.
prestidigitation on it. I know, and you lift
Yeah.
it, and you put it down your mage hands and your stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
practice
practice
bag
bag.
of sand. But yeah, other than that, I really have nothing useful in my bag. I have a grenade.
Darling,
Okay,
neither
well-
do I, so I guess from one noble to another, we're properly screwed out here in the desert if it weren't for Xania.
All right, well, blanket for you, blanket for
and then
you,
Lance
bedroll
looks
for
in his
you,
other bag
bedroll
and
for
he
you.
goes, thanks. Lance looks in his other bag. He's like, okay. He's muttering under his breath. He's like, acid, liquor, chocolate, cigarettes, scorpion tail, gum, cola, peppermints. Okay.
Honestly, you got the stuff I missed, so that's good.
Yeah, I got
will
a
ask-
scorpion tail still in here from the giant scorpions. So
I
Oh
will,
yeah.
So I'm gonna ask this: who is wearing for yourselves any protective headwear from the heat, whether it's a
Oh, yeah.
hat or a hood?
I got a
Like
hat
that
on.
hat.
hood.
I got that hat that we talked about.
Yep. So I'm gonna just go down alphabetical for everyone. Alice, you have your hat, right?
Oh, it's one of those really wide brim ones with the ribbon all the way around it and a giant bow on the back. Yeah, it's very
Perfect.
fashionable.
Great. Callie, I know from your character art, you already have a hat, so you're good
Yep.
for there. Chance, you have the fire resistance, so you wouldn't need one, but I'll just ask, would you have gotten a hat or a hood or anything?
She has a scarf. She has a headscarf.
Perfect. Wrap it up there. Excellent. Big Red. Would Big Red wear any protective headgear?
Just have a big old head of hair.
Okay. That'll be noted.
Damn it.
Going into a desert that's over 120 degrees heat
Hey,
without
Big
a hat.
Red, do you need a hat? Do we need to get you one at the bazaar real quick?
I mean,
Get a red hat, but I'm just asking before anything else. Say it now or
I mean,
forever
could I
hold
just
your
like
peace.
wrap like one of my shirts, like I don't know,
You
shirt
can.
something over
Let's-
my head?
Red, y'all need a hat. You do need
I'll
a
also
hat.
ask, is Big Red walking around without his sleeves for his arms as well?
You're
'Cause
not
Yeah,
built
am I
for
gonna
the
get a really
desert,
bad
Red.
sunburn right now?
you're gonna have bad
You're a
sunburn.
ginger, yes.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay. So
If someone offers a hat, I'll gladly take it.
Okay.
We need to go get Big Red a hat. I'll be right back.
Fuck.
Lance will run in and get Big Red a hat.
Lance, can
Yes.
we get Alice a proper hat, please?
A proper
What are you talking about? This is a proper hat. Look at it. It's wide brimmed, very wide. It's fashionable. I've got a little ribbon on the back. Matches.
I need you to forgive me for something in advance.
She's gonna hold onto her hat.
She's gonna try to pull the hat off of her head. If we have to tug a war
No!
for it, we will.
Oh my god.
All right. We'll figure out this hat snafu in a moment. Just want to go over everyone else. M is right now a camel, so he doesn't need a hat or anything. But I will ask, as he officially joined us, do you want to get any protective headgear for when you are not a camel? Or do you want to just have the sun's embrace, freedom's embrace on your head?
Yeah, I don't need a hat or anything.
Gotcha. And Lance, you have the kind of like that scarf. I forget what it's called for it, but it's
yeah.
the head scarf for it. Definitely looks like a bandit with it. But
Oh yeah, where's that
definitely-
picture that you made? You should post that.
Yeah, I'll repost it somewhere for it. But yes, you're protected for it. And then Zanny, are you having any protective headwear for you? That hat. Gotcha. Excellent. Now, question: are any of you getting any parasols or umbrellas for your mounts as well?
Yes.
Nope. Oh, good.
Aren't they wearing like blankets?
The camels, yeah, actually the art for for them they would. So the camels are good. So it would only be Puddin because Puddin is not wearing any protective gear at the moment.
We're gonna remedy that.
Okay.
Are we gonna get put in a hat?
Yeah, no, we'll get her a parasol. She's a proper lady.
There you go. So for the parasol,
Parasol
I'll say,
hat?
for the parasol, I'll say 50 silver. For the hat for Big Red, just 20 silver.
Big Red, do you
Lance,
have
can-
sleeves? Would you
No,
like a
Lance.
cloak? Would you like a cloak or something?
A
with red
fucking
color?
cloak? I've never worn a cloak in my life.
What about
Okay.
a poncho?
Yeah,
Maybe
would you
a
like
poncho.
A poncho, it's got no sleeves technically. You can it's like breezy.
Oh,
Alright, fine,
poncho.
yeah.
Absolutely. Poncho, poncho,
All right,
poncho.
Poncho
can I get
sounds good.
So
I-
total
I-
50 for the poncho and hat combo.
okay, so it's 100 silver.
And we're
That's
gonna
not
need a
bad.
hat for Alice.
You can get a
Alice,
new hat for
Alice has a hat. Thank you.
She could get a new hat, but Alice can choose not to wear it.
Alice has a
Let's settle it
hat.
that way.
So 150.
150. There we go. All right. With that,
Like a cowboy hat, like to match
Yes,
Calliope's. Okay.
absolutely.
and with that said, you all strike out into the desert. Who is
Poncho
leading
Rojo.
the Poncho Rojo? So it's wait, is it a red hat and a red
Yes.
poncho?
Everything's red. Come
Everything.
There
on.
it
If it wasn't red, Lance is using prestidigitation to make this thing red by the time we
Make
get
it red.
back.
There we go. All right. I'm gonna ask who's leading this trek forward. You have a map, and I think one of you has a compass.
I have a compass.
Okay, two people have compasses. That's perfect. Who
Lance
also
points and says we're going that way.
Yeah, and I believe Big Red was given the map.
Map,
So I'm gonna
yep.
ask who is doing the first survival check.
I will help, but not do it.
Well, they will already have advantage with the compass and the map together, and it does lower the DC because you have multiple.
Camel
compasses.
Embrin can.
I was about to say.
So perfect. M, you are a druid, and you can still use your mental stats as a druid. So you all are showing M as a
The
camel.
horse or the camel.
Just
Red.
holding the map in front of the camel. He's like, all right, I got you.
We're
I
getting
just
ready to leave.
imagine
People are
Red.
looking at us, just like you've got this small folk holding it. Be like, all right,
Yeah.
got it.
And the camel's just
It's
looking around
it's
like,
it's Zanny holding Red by the legs while Red is like climbed up the neck,
Oh,
just
and he's
and has
leaning
the map out in
forward?
front of him.
and then
Yeah,
you're also like, okay, look at the
exactly.
compass. Look at the compass. I love it. I love the imagery.
All right, I have my character sheet open now.
Roll a survival check with advantage, please.
Oh, that was almost a nat 20.
Oh,
A 22 is still amazing. So at this stage, you don't need a 20 to pass things. So above 20 is absolutely amazing for it. So great. You all begin the trek for it, and I will say it is uneventful. You're leaving kind of like civilization, heading straight through all of the desert for it. You travel a lot of well-traveled paths for it. There is the kind of like a little bit of a dirt road where a lot of the caravans have gone through for it. And you do see some notes on the map that show kind of like two options for you all. One option following the road, which may be a little bit of a safer path, and the other option going a straight line towards the oasis. One is obviously faster, but maybe a little bit more riskier. The other slower, but more safer. So which is M doing? Is he going with the straight path?
For sure.
Perfect. You all veer off of the road after about a good hour, and you all start going through desert. Puddin automatically, you notice, is a little struggling with the sand, but she's a desert force also. But so it's not like she's unfamiliar with it, but compared to camels, she definitely has a little bit of a hindrance for it. Overall, though, you all are able to trek forward successfully over the next 4 hours. As the sun begins to set, it is now closer towards 9 p.m. and the sun still is out. What are you all still trying to push even further or thinking about bedding down for the night?
Have we seen any other creatures, people, or camps?
No, no, and no. It is
About how
completely
much more of the
uneventful at this moment.
How much more? What's the distance between us and our target?
You know that it would take at least like 3 days of travel, they mentioned, for it. You've just put in 4 hours at this moment. So lots
Was it
more
24
travel.
hours worth of travel time, 3 8-hour days, or is it like
It's more like
70?
12-hour days for each of them.
Okay.
So I will note that you've done with them saying hypothetically, if we're talking about 12 times 3, that's 36. So 4 hours out of 36 presumably have been completed.
Do you guys want to push on for another 2 hours?
Darling, I could sleep on the back of this horse again if we could go all night.
I think we probably want to be making camp at least on our first night before the sun goes down.
So the horse does need to sleep.
Yeah, and there's that too.
We're never going to make it back in time.
I'll see. You guys press another 2 hours, I would say, to do 6 out of 36. If you can, roll me another survival check with advantage.
I sure can.
I couldn't get one of the map over the shoulder, but I got 2 small folk on the back of a camel with a map.
There we go. All right. You also, every time you're rolling higher, you are able to kind of like shave off a little bit of things for it. So I'm keeping track of things behind the behind the DM screen for it. So perfect. All right. It is nighttime on the first night of your travel, and I will say, all of you, well, let's do this a little bit and compartmentalizing it. Who's making camp? Who's helping do things as you all are starting to figure out, yeah, it's about time to kind of like bed down. There's pretty much no shelter. It is the middle of nowhere. It's a flat, just lots of desert and sand. So, how do you all set up things? Anyone can just say it right now and go forward from there.
We know how to set up tents, right? Like, have we all set up a tent before?
Good question.
As
I'm pretty sure
everybody
Alice
but
hasn't.
Alice set up a tent before?
Thank you, Lance.
I would suggest that we do the openings all facing one another. And
Inward.
as long as we stay within 30 feet of me, well, good old Esme's going to warn us if there's anybody approaching.
So will Sheldon.
I don't care
Sheldon,
about Sheldon.
Okay.
Sheldon doesn't need to sleep.
Neither does Esme.
I got a suggestion for possibly doing a little bit of a fire there. We got some southern fire styles that we like to do. Helps keep predators off our tail in the middle of the night and lets us keep warm. And if we go with Callie's idea and keep the tents close in like that, facing each other, like you said, help keep everybody warm. Because you don't want to be too far away from the fire, but it'll work just fine.
All right. And Zanny, you showed them kind of like what you entailed for it. You first things first, you spray the water into the sand to make it
Yeah,
a
I'll put
little
it on
bit
this.
damp.
Yeah, I'll specifically be doing the spray setting.
Yep.
Just for like
And
1
then
second.
you, with your shovel, carve out 2 holes, connect them underground, and then put some kindling in one hole and light it so that the air funnels in through one hole, out of the other to help feed the camp, the fire, without it being very, very bright out up there for it. So it's a very stealthy fire that you've made. With that being said, I see also Chance you're securing the camels, taking care of them, making sure they're watered and such.
Callie has rogue levels, right?
Yes.
You know for a fact that Zanny is speaking total bullshit. This is not a southern thing. This is a rogue fire thing to keep out of eyesight.
Yep.
It's not my secret to tell.
Yeah, but I'm just letting you. This is something that you, as another rogue, you've picked up on. She's totally bullshitting this.
So and DM, am I going to ask for a ruling on this? Can we agree that thieves' cant is a combination of gestures as well as verbiage?
If it's going to be gestures, then it has to also be it has to be accompanied with speaking.
She's going to try and slip Zanny just basically I see you in thieves' cant.
Great. It could be
just so that they're on even so that they're on even footing.
Yep. So it's like, oh, nice fire. And kind of like making a little sign with her hand. Just like, I know what you're it's not not a Rhea fire.
I know what you did last summer.
I very cheekily just reply with peekaboo.
There you go. All right. So who's setting we have I will say Zanny, you're dealing with the fire. Callie, you're there perhaps helping kind of get like any other foods or like pots and pans situated for it if you'd like. Who's or Chance is helping with the camels. Who's setting up the tents? Big Red. Okay. Anyone else with helping Big Red do it? Lance. Great. M, are you doing anything helping anyone else or watching or anything in particular?
Yeah, he'll take watch. He's a perceptive fella. He'll just make sure that we've got a nice secure spot and kind of look around the perimeter and just make sure everything is looking good and just kind of remembering where things are, just so keeping track of like sandstorms and everything.
Great. Roll me a perception check.
That didn't go through.
21. You're very carefully memorizing things, making sure you understand kind of the lay of the land and looking for anything that is happening. Especially as the sun sets, you're noticing some nocturnal creatures are starting to kind of like stir, but they're keeping to the shadows as best as they can, at least at this moment. You don't notice anything sinister, and that is a good thing. And you would imagine at least this first night is probably going to be relatively safe, especially this close to civilization, unless it's like some bandits or such, which you're keeping an eye out at this moment. Alice, what is Alice doing as she sees kind of like everyone getting everything situated?
She was offended by the comment that insinuated she has no idea how to put up a tent, even though it's an entirely accurate comment. So she's going to kind of go off and set up her own tent, and she's going to look like she's doing it, but she's actually told Nasir to do it. So he's like right in front of her. So she's trying to look like she's doing it, but Nasir is actually doing it.
I'm going to ask for Nasir to roll. So roll me a d20 to see if he knows how to put up the tent. Because some of the tent supplies are heavy, but with a 16, he is doing it very slowly because he only can carry like 5 pounds. So it's like he's desperately like.
Well, she's helping him. It's just like he's doing the main putting it together, and she's kind of following along.
Gotcha.
And occasionally she's looking over at Lance in a very "I told you so" kind of way.
Yep.
Can Lance
Lance
roll to
rolled
see if he
perception.
notices the tent is still moving
Yeah,
when
I was
she's
about to
looking at
say.
him?
You can roll. Anyone who wants to can roll perception check.
Of course.
For it.
Can't you just give Alice this one?
No,
I'm not gonna
at
say
all.
anything. I just want to know if I saw.
No, I don't see shit.
I would say no, Lance. I would say you don't see it because that was a 16 for Nasir, so I'll allow that kind of as a contest. You're a little surprised by it. All right. With
When she's done, Lance will say, "I'm surprised, but good job, Alice."
Thank you, darling. I'm thrilled that I can be still surprising you this far along into our friendship.
It's literally been 10 days.
Yeah, it's like 8 days into it.
Oh, it feels like an eternity, to be completely honest with you. Have we not
A
aged?
fucking lifetime.
Has it not been 6 years?
It feels like 19 weeks.
Alice, roll a perception check for me. Perfect. And in fact, you will be the first to see this. But as you look about, you actually notice the night sky for the first time. All of you notice. Some of you are familiar with the beauty of night away from cities. But for Alice, probably not, as she looks up and sees all the stars in the night sky and how peaceful and beautiful the desert can be at night.
Well, now Lance probably knows she didn't put her tent up because it's probably still moving and she's just standing there staring at the sky.
There you go. Yeah, all of you are looking up, and you've been around a lot of towns and cities for a while. For all of you, it's a nice reminder to see the stars are still there
For now.
for now.
Way to
All right.
ruin it, Lance. Way to ruin it.
Hey, one of these days, we're gonna look up and we're gonna see stars exploding and go, "Huh."
You know, the 16 just looks at us like we're a little pretzel, and all those stars are like little salts just in the sky.
All of you are at least kind of like getting situated with your tents. I see, Chance, you are getting your telescope set up. Are you going to be trying to do any nighttime viewing with the stars or the moons and such?
No, I was just setting it up for funsies.
Perfect.
Yes, of course I was doing. That's why I was setting it up.
So that was my next question: is which one are you trying to focus on more, the moons, because there's two moons, or the stars?
Both.
Okay, we'll split it there. Roll me for that night, for the first night. Roll me a astronomy check, which is intelligence. I'm not sure if you're proficient. If you are, add your proficient modifier to it.
Well, it's not an actual thing, so it would be your thing whether the the training that she did in the demiplane would give her proficiency or half proficiency or anything, because it's not an actual. It's not an actual skill.
Yeah, I'll allow half proficiency because you studied it intensively for those those months that you were in that demiplane. So right now at level 5, it's rounding up. It's +3, so round up to a +2 plus your intelligence. All right,
21.
21 it is. So you're getting a very good, especially this clear night sky. I mean, there's occasionally some clouds, but overall, you're getting a very good feel and tracking things with the moons, as well as starting to apply and utilize those like star charts that you have so that you are getting a good footing on, all right, this is how things are. You're trying to pinpoint which stars are which, as well as trying to track the different planets that orbit around the sun. Anyone else can also see Chance is using a very sophisticated telescope. It's not one of those. It's not a foreign type of telescope. It is one that is Arumic of design, but it is a one that she purchased from the university, so it has definitely a scholastic feel for it. But let's open up into kind of like what are you all doing the first night with things. We're gonna go same thing with the rolls for it, and actually M, since you're back, roll me a d20 if we're gonna use this going forward. 14. Perfect. All right. So let's begin. Chance, you're doing that, which actually makes sense because you also rolled that nat 20, so we're good there. Zanny, you do approach, and or I think Zanny, yeah, do you approach Chance to look into the
No.
telescope?
No,
No?
no, no, no. I was speaking of character. I was joking around saying I want to ink it as a joke. But I
Gotcha.
don't. I'm not going to do that.
There, I just wanted to make sure. So, all right, not a problem. Let's go to Lance. Is there anything Lance is doing that first night, um, at camp?
Yeah, he'll send that sending.
All right, what is the sending you're sending to your uncle?
Hey, Uncle, checking in. Thank you for gift. Heard about insert that town name here.
Asanya.
Hasania. How is insert other town name here doing?
Your hometown of Timoshk.
Yeah. How is Tamash doing?
Tense, to say the least. It's we don't know what is going to happen, but keeping my ear out. Hope you stay safe. My favorite nephew.
Lance will report that back to Alice.
And there we go. All right. If nothing else, let's go to Big Red. Big Red, anything you're doing that first night?
Yeah, I'm totally going to the telescope.
Okay. You walk over to the telescope. I don't think Big Red you've ever seen it. Like you know what a telescope is.
Yeah, but I've
Your
never
head,
actually used one.
never used it, never like seen it in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you approach Chance. Anything you're saying right now as you are looking and seeing her kind of like use it? She has this interesting it's a very thick telescope and it has a gear clockwork gear on it so that it actually moves slightly without moving like the eyepiece. It moves slightly to lock onto a target and follow it in the night sky.
Just kind
So
of like,
you don't have to move the telescope with like while watching the moon. It pinpoints, locks in, and then moves it on a timer.
gotcha. So I'll just like clear my throat, like, what are you doing? What are you doing there, Chance?
Oh, a bit of astronomy. The telescope. Have you ever looked closely at the moon before?
Huh. What? Why?
Um, well, uh, between when the train crashed and I met up with you guys again, well, I did a little bit of studying and just got interested in it. And there's other reasons now to be interested in the moon. So yeah,
Oh, can I look?
yeah. Just put your eye in there. Um,
Is it
you'll
like way higher than me too? This is
It is adjustable.
okay. All right.
So she does have to kind of like crank a little bit of the gears or kind of like to shorten the legs
Okay.
for it. But
Because I don't want to break it. That's why I'm worried. So
no, she'll help you with all the adjustments. Be like, this is the
okay, cool.
this is the focus thing. You can just do that, and that should be
Can you see into
the
the Fey realm with that thing?
moon right there.
Wow, that's cool.
a question for Chance: would she be looking at the white moon or the blue moon when Big Red approached her?
Um, let's see. Add is white. White.
Okay. So yeah, Big Red, you go in there and I mean you've seen the moon how it is, kind of like just like with like the normal naked eye for it. This time when you're looking through the telescope, zoomed in, it is amazing how clear it is, and you're able to see all the craters on the face of the moon. It's not so much that you can go all the way to like the ground level of it, but just enough to see like a huge chunk at a time of it with all the craters.
Awesome. Yeah. Then he's just like in amazement. Like he's just looking at it because it's something that he's never really seen the beauty of before in that
Yep.
sense. Just in awe and awestruck.
Awesome.
Do you want me to readjust it so you can see the blue one too?
Yeah, if he can, that'd be cool.
Nice. The blue one, you notice that the blue one has less craters, has a few, but definitely is much more smoother. It has
Huh.
kind of like this crystalline sheen to it. And it is just as beautiful as the white, but just alluringly different, magically different from it.
Hmm.
So it's shiny.
One day I'll be there. No, just but but no, he's just in amazement. Like it's just really cool.
Awesome. All right. With that, great. Let's go next to Alice. Is there anything Alice is doing that first night?
Yeah, she's gonna go for a little bit of a walk. I mean, she's not gonna go far. She's gonna keep the camp, in screaming distance. Um, but the night sky was very distracting for her, and she thought it was quite pretty. And she's never really got to enjoy it before because the last time she saw it, they were on a dead train in the middle of the desert. So she's gonna go a little bit of ways, and she's gonna sit down and just take a moment for herself.
Yep. And you're able to just stare out all the beautiful stars, and you wonder which ones are part of constellations and which ones aren't. And it's just a very serene and magical moment for you as you're just a person sitting in the desert looking at all the stars in the night sky.
That's so beautiful. I love that for her.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Let's go next to M. Anything you're doing that first night?
Um, I think he would first rest up since he was one of the mounts. He did all the
You
walking.
are, yeah, you are tired. I'm not gonna make you roll anything at this moment for the first night because you've only done 6 hours, but that's 6 hours of travel with people on your back for it. So you're definitely kind of like stretching and just uh, getting kind of like a little bit used to the long treks. Time is weird here, and gravity and distance is weird here on the physical universe.
Yep. But yeah, he'll just kind of cuddle up next to the fire and just kind of sit there until he eventually falls asleep, or if someone wants to chat with him, he'll kind of be like half awake for a bit. But yeah, he's just kind of just in lounge mode right now, just resting up because he knows he's gonna be doing it again.
Excellent. And as you do, you're kind of like just laying there. This is an interesting experience for you because you've never been in a desert, but it is soft sand, and you're just able to rest there and just, especially with the campfire nearby, you kind of like reach out with your hand and you just are able to manipulate the fire a bit to create dancing flames and such for it. Occasionally, Blazer kind of like swats them or just is like watching them with like with fascination. But it is a very zen moment for you, especially after a long day of travel for it all.
Yeah, he'll occasionally just like take some of the like grab some of the fire with produce flame and just like throw a fireball for Blazer to run
Blazer,
after.
just as a cat would, just jumping up, aerial maneuver, catches it, and then just lands on the ground. Perfect. All right. Calliope, anything you're doing that first night?
She's going ahead and giving an apple to Puddin and explaining to her that her second mama wouldn't like her doing this, so she's not going to get these too often. and then she's pulling her saddle off and brushing her down and just telling her what a good girl she is and just kind of getting her ready for bed.
Yeah. It is the first night you've ever had Puddin, and it is a special one.
That's why
good
she's
one
going to
to
sleep
remember.
next to Puddin.
Yep. Perfect. And Zanny, anything you're doing that first night?
Zanny, after we got everything set up, Zanny's been keeping an eye on Alice, and then may have stalked her slightly when she walked away from the camp to make sure no one murdered her. But just gives her like a good 15, 20 minutes at least of good of just peace and quiet before she finally just goes, ha.
Alice is going to scream and throw sand at Zanny. Probably miss her. But yeah, she's gonna go, oh my god, and then she's just gonna throw sand. So it just. Pew. Oh, hello, Zanny, darling.
Everyone in camp kind of like hears it and is alarmed for a moment, but you guys are able to kind of like wave them off, or Alice, you were able to say, it's okay, sorry. But eventually you both are able to have any other conversation without alarming the rest of the group.
It's fine, I'm just creepy.
No, you're just quiet. You're very quiet.
Well, I didn't want to bother you. You look like you were having kind of a moment, you know?
Well, you don't often get to see the stars in Zarek like this, darling. I mean, sure, you'll be like, oh, there's a very bright star, make a wish, but never like this.
This is why I love adventuring. Get to see all this.
Yes, it's beautiful. I almost don't want to go back inside.
Almost.
Oh no, I quite like the warmth of a bed.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. But I didn't just come out here to stalk you for no reason. I got you something. I wanted to give it to you.
Oh, darling, you didn't have to get me anything.
Oh, I definitely needed to get you this.
Are you gonna try to take my hat? And she doesn't have her hat on her head right now. She left it back at camp.
No.
No, Callie's gonna throw it away.
She probably already has.
I like that hat.
The hat got thrown out in the desert, just so you know.
I was gonna say they look back, the fire's much bigger, and it's not because of M. There's a ribbon burning in the air as a piece of it floats away.
Callie's got the brim of the hat and looking over at Ember. Pull.
Yep. 100% accurate.
Zanny sets her bag down and pulls out the pistol that she bought and the box of 30 rounds. So I bought these for you, in case, well, when things turn bad.
Alice is gonna pick it up by like the bottom of it, and she's got it by 2 fingers. What am I supposed to do with this?
It's for defense, and it's if you want it, and if you do want it, I will teach you.
First, I'm carrying my rapier for the first time in 16 knows how long. It's sitting next to her in the sand. She's still very uncomfortable with it. Now I'm going to have a... Where am I going to put it? Am I going to have to pull it out of my purse every time I want to shoot it? Like, hold on, sir, hold on. I see you have a gun. Let me get mine out. We'll have a proper Texas standoff.
Well, if you do want it, and again, this is no pressure, honey. I didn't, you don't have to keep it, but just if you want another tool for defense, it is there. And if it not, we'll deal with that. But if you want to keep it, we'll just make it. We'll just go to like a leather worker or something and get you a holster made.
No, I quite like it. And saying it as a person who has been shot before, it's not fun being on the other receiving end of these bullets. It would be
It's
quite
really
helpful.
I'll give you some pointers and make sure you don't, shoot yourself.
Is there a potential for that?
There is.
Like an easy one?
No,
Oh.
but with anything like this, I mean, the long and short of it, sweetheart, is you're holding a small explosion in your hand.
Okay, well, I appreciate this, Annie, and she's actually going to try to hold it properly, but she's got it in, like, both hands, and, like, this, and she does have a finger on the trigger. Thankfully, it's not loaded.
Yeah, it is not loaded.
No.
It's so not loaded. And hang on, actually, she just kind of steps to your side and just like gently places her hands on yours, just kind of and one finger through there, just like that. Okay. And then are you right-handed or left-handed, sweetheart?
I'm right-handed.
Okay, let's use this eye then, and we'll slide you over here, and that's how you aim down that way.
Alice is gonna adopt as much of a like fancy stance as she can to shoot this gun. Very like.
Oh, you want to be fancy?
Of course I want to be fancy, darling. I mean, I can't just be another gunslinger. If I were, I'd be walking around going, "Oh yes, my pistol will tell us when there's danger. Oh, I've named my pistol Carla."
I mean, I called mine Patience, so whatever.
Oh, you're supposed to name them, so that's like a thing.
That's it. Okay, so it's like a rite of passage for an adventurer to name their weapon. It's kind of a thing.
Well, okay. I don't know what I'm going to name it. Does that just come to me later, or should I look at it and go?
No, it'll happen. It'll just
Susan.
happen. Trust me. Don't try to press any of this. It'll just happen when it happens.
Okay. Okay. Does Callie know you have purchased this for me?
Oh, she helped me pick it out. Yeah.
Okay, so she's gonna feel comfortable with this on the back of the horse then. Perfect.
Well, we're not gonna keep it loaded till you know what you're doing with it, and you're gonna get the gun, and I'm starting to think that Callie might need the bullets.
Do I get to keep like one bullet?
Oh, you can keep some of the bullets. I'm just saying, not all of the bullets.
Oh,
I
okay.
just don't want them to, have a chain reaction and explode in your corset and blow you in half. That'd be bad.
Is that also a thing that could happen?
Again, small but possible.
This thing is dangerous.
Absolutely.
I don't think I like that Bruce was carrying one anymore.
Oh, the fact that he was, and that he actually kind of looked like he sort of knew what he was doing, it instilled a little confidence, I won't lie.
I'm glad you think so. Honestly, the second I saw it, I thought he was going to pull it out backwards. I mean, he's a very intelligent man. I'm sure he has someone who taught him how to shoot it, but at the same time, like, I've never seen him hold one before.
I did think he was going to shoot somebody. He did look a little nervous when he pulled it the first time, but he did know which end was the dangerous one. That's the first step.
It's this one, right? She's gonna like look at it, like point it at
Absolutely,
herself.
never fucking again.
Oh.
Never fucking again. No, never. No. Rule 1: do not ever do that again.
Then he goes through some of the basics with Alice, including never point the gun where you don't want it to shoot.
Yeah.
It's like that was drilled into me every time I go to the gun range. Like
Wherever you point that is going to be dead.
Yeah. With that said, all of you then start gathering up for the night, and I'll ask: are any of you doing watches throughout the night, or are you opting for the defense of the pistol warning that Callie has?
I'll still take a
I
watch
would.
yeah.
Okay.
Can we
So-
set Sheldon on watch too?
Yep.
Oh God.
And that is a good thing with familiars. They can watch, and they're using their stats though.
I
So-
mean, Blazer doesn't technically need to sleep, but he's cat, so he needs to sleep.
He needs to sleep. So I'll ask, well, let me ask this. Is everyone taking a watch, or is anyone just gonna opt out of a shift?
If everyone's
no.
taking a watch, I will take a watch.
Okay.
I will take watch.
I would.
Yep. So everyone's taking a watch?
So
Okay.
what, 7 of us?
Someone's gonna have to wake up Alice and tell her she's taking a watch.
I
We can do
would-
watches in pairs, right?
Yeah, you
I
guys
would
could do watches
spec-
in pairs.
I would specifically probably point out that we probably shouldn't have Embrun do one, because Embrun
Yeah.
is also going to
Tired.
be a mount tomorrow all day.
That's
Yep.
fair, yeah.
Fair.
So Embrun should get all the sleep.
Oh, the sleep.
All of the sleep.
Oh,
I
this.
Won't
Totally
argue
happy.
That
against
just
sleep.
sounds like
Taking
like
one
my
of my
father,
own.
Anthony. Just get all.
Are we doing 3-hour blocks?
Yep. You can.
Yeah, we can.
All right.
Lance
So-
can take middle. That's fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask. There's 6 of you that are taking watches. Who's taking the first watch?
I can.
Big
Oh,
Red
order is Annie.
and
Oh, I started doing pairs. Yeah.
cool. Who's taking second watch?
Lance will with whoever.
I'll go with Lance.
Okay.
I was about to say no one wants to do it, Lance.
Lance and Chance. And then there's
Lance
there's
and
a dance and a
Chance.
dance and all the other.
Oh God.
There's a
We're
tiefling.
wearing pants.
Wearing
We're
pants.
wearing pants.
And then third watch, I'm assuming is Callie and Alice. So
Sure.
Yeah, but again,
Sounds about right.
you're gonna have to come wake Alice up.
She will.
Okay.
Oh, great, because Callie loves waking up.
I was gonna say we should have put those two on the front because they're the ones that don't wake up.
She's been real good about
He's been
waking
a really
up
good
early.
Callie.
she's been good. Yeah, in
That's fair, that's fair.
canon, in RP, she has been more diligent about waking up early. So, and Calliope wouldn't. I would think Calliope, especially with her time as the Wanton Woman's, would be used to shifts and waking up early for shifts and such.
Absolutely.
So, all right, first shift goes forward. Big Red and Zanny, both of you can roll a perception check, or one of you can roll with advantage, whichever you guys would want.
What do you want?
I'll give you the advantage.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll give you the advantage. Trust me on this one.
Okay, rolling then.
I mean, sweetie, I got one good eye, but I got one good eye. You got two.
Yep,
Thanks.
16. Hey, 16 is a good number. So you both stay watch, and you notice some critters running about, doing their nocturnal thing, especially like right after kind of like the sunset. Creatures are about, whether they're small rodents or the black-footed cat, which catches those rodents on like a 60% success basis for it. You see a couple of birds flying about, just a lot of nocturnal animals going about. But otherwise, it is uneventful for the next 3 hours. The two of you can RP if you want, and I'm gonna ask to do that kind of like off the side because we're going through 3 days. We're gonna start to get a little bit up for it. But if you guys want to have any conversations, you can. The next
10
shift-
4.
Yeah. Next shift comes up. Both of you don't fall asleep, so that's all good. The next one is Lance and Chance. So Lance and Chance, roll me either both of you separately or one with advantage.
But +5. I don't know what you have.
I have a +4. There's not much difference, but you can have advantage if you want.
Why don't we each roll?
Okay.
Because I consistently have rolled 10s all day.
Well, I rolled bad.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my telescope again.
Yeah, that's what happened. You're like, you actually get tempted to veer the telescope, like zoom it out all the way, and then kind of like look at the surrounding a bit, and then kind of get dizzy about it. Like, yeah, that wasn't a good idea, and you kind of just focus on the sky at that moment. But perfect. Uneventful. That night, in the middle of it, it definitely gets very quiet at that time of the night, the witching hour, so to speak. But nothing happens.
Lance teaches Chance some more Celestial during that time.
Perfect.
Cool.
I will roll a concentration check because you're teaching, but also on the watch. So those are you can do it, but you're gonna be needing concentration kind of like throughout that time. So roll me a
Constitution.
Yeah. So Constitution check. Yeah, that does it. Strangely enough, this is easy for Lance. Completely
Lance is just
easy.
talking while he's doing this.
Yeah, he's like, by the way, if you want to say hello, it's this. It kind of like is like peace, and he kind of just like walking and just thinking and talking to Chance.
Also, Lance is human. He can see like 5 feet in front of him, so he's just like, yeah, I'm totally looking at everything around him.
Fortunately, right now it is a night. I did show the night sky. It is bright, so you're able to see some elements of it. Not probably things that are in the shadows, but definitely things that are illuminated by the moon.
That's what Shelton's for.
That's the part I'm helping with too.
There we
I
go.
terrible perception, but I'm looking far away.
Yep. Perfect. Next shift is Callie and Alice. Both of you are woken up, and both of you roll perception checks, or one of you with advantage.
What do you want to do?
What's your perception?
+5.
+6.
Well, you can go with advantage.
Okay.
I'm a dumb bitch.
Not with a +5.
Dumb, but you're wise.
No, that's just because I'm a bard. I'm actually dumb. I'm just a
I
bard.
was about to say perception is wisdom. So wait. But yeah, 14. Great. You are again able to keep an eye out. You rely on Esme, and you take comfort with that, but most of the time you're kind of like also with Puddin. And perhaps if you want, you can also have any conversations you want with Alice during that first night shift.
Okay.
The next
Does
day
Alice
comes.
actually stay awake the whole time?
Yes, she does because she
she-
gets kicked.
If she got her full night's sleep, of course she's gonna
She did.
stay awake the whole time. She's good to go. Alice has
Yeah.
to be the first person to take watch or the last person. Don't put her in the middle. There will be hell to pay.
Very. But yeah, eventually, all of you wake up fully rested and ready to go for the first full day of traveling through the desert itself.
And Calliope will get the coffee going before people wake up, just making sure that they're waking up to a nice hot breakfast and, trying to make it as welcoming as possible.
Perfect. All right. And with that said, we're going to take our break. We're going to come back in 15 minutes and we're going to do the day 2 and see if we can get through day 3 as we go through the desert. So, see everyone back in about 15 minutes. Till then, see you soon.
We're good.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We're back. Our adventures it is now the 5th of heat as everyone wakes up and is getting ready for the next day. Because it's a new day and I just feel like it. Everyone roll a d20 for me.
What about those of us that are on watch?
This is for
You roll 4 d20s.
this is about going through the day with it all. So
Oh, okay.
There she is. There's my girl. There's the what I get at 3. Yeah, there she is.
I mean, you'd expect the curve. I mean, we're still technically with the curve, I think. There's 4 for Alice, 12 for Chance, 17 for Lance, 3 for Zanny. Erlon rolled a 15, M rolled a 7, and Calliope a 16. Great. All right. Let's go to Storm. All right, let's go through and see if is there anything
Okay,
anyone would
right.
be well, I'll get to that in a second. Let me just put it. Does anyone do anything? Does anyone want to say anything that they would be doing, particularly in the morning of the second day, or is it get to business, get packing, move along? Because if so, great. We'll move on to the first roll of your travels.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
Number 1, Lance would like to do a perimeter search of the camp and make sure that there was nothing stalking us that we just didn't see in the middle of the night, footprints in the sand.
Okay. Roll a perception or survival. Yeah, you definitely think that the whole camp is infested with scorpions.
Perfect. And then I should have asked the other question first because you said let's get down to business, and I was going to ask if we were supposed to defeat the Huns.
But yeah, for a moment, Lance, you are terrified that there are scorpions in the camp. But after another double check,
You see Lance going around and shaking everybody's shoes that aren't on yet, and like,
yeah, awesome. All right, and I do see Storm just playing the piano now. All right. Anyone else have anything before we?
The only thing that Callie did insist on is that we have a nice breakfast together and actually socialize and talk.
Yeah, definitely doable. I'll ask who's cooking.
She'll cook.
Okay. Is anyone helping Callie cook?
Alice will help in between looking for her hat.
Oh, it's where you left it, darling.
Darling, I left it on top of my bag and it's not there anymore.
I'm sure there's a hat there.
What hat is there?
All right.
What's it
Callie,
look like?
well,
Callie's.
yeah, of course. What does it look like?
Oh, darling, this is not going to go with my outfit whatsoever. Where's my hat?
There was a bit of an accident.
Where did you throw it?
The fire.
Oh, Bruce got me that hat last summer.
I am so sorry.
We were
I will
going-
make restitution.
We were going on a date and he told me that he wanted me to be safe from the sun while we were walking in the garden.
And because of that, that prompted you to get a more appropriate hat. So in a way, I was just fulfilling his destiny.
Alice is going to put it on. Howdy, partner.
We're going to work on that.
Okay.
All right. Callie, roll me a cooking check, which is wisdom. I don't know if you're proficient, so just a wisdom check with advantage because because Alice is helping.
Sorry, I didn't roll it with advantage. But you know what? For this, I'm going to spend my inspiration.
Bet it away.
Better.
17. It is a really good rustic meal. Definitely fun. Bacon sizzling on the pan, eggs frying, coffee or tea being cooked on the kind of the fire and everything. It is a nice rustic campfire. It is really good breakfast. Very hearty, especially in a lot of water. Everything has like a side of water because you know it's going to be one of those days. But nevertheless, you have coffee, water, and tea, all to wash down a lot of good, greasy, hearty food.
Oh, this is going to be so good.
with that said, you all pack up and make your journey. So I'm gonna ask, is it the same setup with everyone kind of like riding their respective mounts, as well as M leading the way as a camel with a map in front of him occasionally and the compasses from Zanny and Chance?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm loving this imagery.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
I mean,
Yep.
also we could ask him, before he turns into an animal
Yeah,
to look at it.
you can both do it both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Alright.
take a quick peek before, and then if I need a refresher, you can just hold it in front.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because you can say words to us when you're in this form instead of not saying words, we just point it and hope that you're going the right way.
Now, do you have? Yeah, I guess I should ask a question while we're talking about. You don't have different maps during like the night and day, do you? Or is it just the same thing?
No, one landmass that does not change depending on night and day cycles. It's just one landmass in distance. It's actually constant instead of unlike the Feywild.
Are you talking about the star charts? I have star charts for at night.
Yeah, that'll change. The sky
Oh.
changes.
Oh, no, that's
It actually
interesting.
sounds weird to you, M, because that's the reverse in the Fey realm.
Yeah, that's we'll get into that later. That sounds curious, but yeah, we should be good after a quick peek.
Perfect. And how long does your wild shape last, M?
Right now I think it is up to 2 hours per charge.
Okay, so like every 2
Yeah,
hours,
2
you're
hours.
changing back. Okay, great. All right. So, M, roll a survival check with advantage. You change the music back to.
A natural 20 and then a 16 to back it up.
Nice. That actually is amazing. You trek through and you are able, in 4 hours, pushing everyone, keeping a good solid pace with Zanny's assistance and Chance's assistance and Big Red with the map occasionally. You are leading the charge with the kind of the best path forward for all things being considered. Now, before I record anything though, I'm going to start asking for some rules for what's happening on this day. So I'm going to do it in reverse alphabetical order, starting with Zanny. So Zanny, roll me a d20. See what happens this day.
Oh, goody. 1d20.
I will say you are allowed to. Okay, 16.
There it
Perfect.
is. There it is. When we needed it.
Perfect. Hey, 16. You praise the 16, or as Alice would say, buy the 16. A solid 4 hours. In fact, it seems that you are able to cover almost double the amount just from the good pace and that natural 20, making up a lot of time. There's the wind in your back blowing from the Aljunem lake, as well as everything. You are even able to stave off a lot of like any of the rolls for the rest of the group when it comes to any of the heat checks for it. So a solid, amazing time of travel for it.
Oh, instead of having to hold Orlon's legs the whole time, I can actually use the decanter of endless water and water the animals while we're riding them.
Yep. So every now and then, Danny stands up and opens the decanter and then says the command word and just sprays the mounts with water. Occasionally stopping on breaks, doing the shoveling a trough, and then filling it up with water for everyone to drink, or at least the mounts to drink and such. I'm assuming you guys are also filling up your canteens with water, stowing them in Lance's bag of colding, and then drinking it from their ice cold water and such. And even being able to pour a little bit on each of your heads for it. Awesome. So the first day, or I should say the second day of travel, was a 16, and then great. Perfect morning goes by, and then the afternoon is upon you all. It is starting to get strangely cloudy a bit in the air, which is a little good, but it is still a very oppressive heat in one sense for it. M, roll me another survival check, if you would.
You know what? I think I would.
And again, this is with advantage. 26. Almost as if M is just born for this, whether it's because he keeps going into camel mode or because you all are advising on like the different paths through the desert and such. You are able to again keep pushing forward, and you feel like you've already halfway there, or almost halfway there, even on the second day in the afternoon, just from the continuous push and push and push for it. I will ask everyone roll con saves for me for the heat. And because you're wearing protective gear, there is no disadvantage on this. So I was going to impose disadvantage on top of it all. Okay, I see a couple rolled sevens.
I think I'd like to use my inspiration.
Go ahead, roll your inspiration.
What about with the resistance?
The heat resistance is, I'll say it lowers the DC for you. Right now, the DC is a 10. So if you have heat resistance plus the outerwear, I would lower it down to a 7. So what did you roll, Chance? Wait, did
I
you roll?
didn't yet. I was asking.
Gotcha. Yeah. So the DC for you is just 10. Right now, it's because the
I thought you
natural
said 7.
20. Yeah. There you go. So DC was 7, I said, for those with it. Otherwise, Alice, you re-rolled a 19. So the only one who's suffering from heat stroke a bit is Calliope. You have 1 point of exhaustion at this moment from the heat stroke, from the heat and everything.
Okay.
I don't
Alright.
like that the person in charge of driving my vehicle is now sleepy and heat
You guys
exhausted.
just like one level, you're just like Callie, for whatever reason, perhaps you're not used to it. You've been in the prison for a while, and then in the cities and such, you've forgotten how it can get you woozy, or maybe you just caught whatever Alice had yesterday, the previous day, and are just like having that little bug go around. Whichever way,
Oh,
you're not feeling too great at this moment.
Alice, how would you feel about taking over the lead and pilot and Puddin for a little while?
Darling, do you think that would be okay? Would she let me? Would you let me?
I'd almost. She vomits. No, I'm kidding. Um, she stops and dismounts and says, "Darling, I'd almost insist on it. I'm not feeling too good."
Alice is gonna take the reins. I mean, she knows how to ride a horse. She just didn't really want to get between this blossoming relationship right here. So she's gonna very, very, very sweetly go, okay, Puddin, is it? Okay, darling, we're gonna just pretend I'm Calliope. We're gonna truck right on.
Perfect.
I'd like to give some inspiration to the horse, please.
Go ahead. What?
No,
What?
she's just gently like patting her mane as Calliope's
saying-
remounting, and just she's telling her she's a beautiful girl, that she was made for the desert. I mean, look at her. Is it a coat? Is that what's on a horse?
Yeah.
I was like, look at her coat. Her mane is beautiful. Obviously, she's loved. She was made for this. So she's giving her that girl power speech.
Great. And you are now riding the horse.
And Calliope is kind of taking the Alice position and just nestled her head into her back and is just trying to rest and maybe nap.
All right. Excellent. We're now pushing into the late of the day. M, roll me one more survival check with advantage.
Can do. With advantage. Roll.
27. You Jesus, how many times are you rolling above 20?
They've all
What is
been they've all been above 20 so far. I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
know.
sure.
I've said like all of them. Okay. 4 plus 5, so a great amount of time. You feel like you've really made a lot of progress pushing into this journey for it in this one day. Awesome. based on your calculations, you think that either tomorrow or perhaps the following day, early in the morning, you may arrive at the oasis point for it. With that said, everyone roll another con save for it. So Ivy.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's just getting worse.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And actually, Calliope, you
Wizard
are...
magic.
Sorry, what was that?
I said wizard magic.
Wizard magic. I'm assuming you're using your current energy. So go ahead, re-roll. Well, actually, are you rolling with 2 already, Calliope? Because I see 2d20.
No, I failed and then moved it to 2
Okay. Because I think
because I'm disadvantaged. So yeah.
Well, no. So a save. This is a save, not a check. So
Oh,
first
okay.
exhaustion is a check. So what was your first roll?
A 6.
Okay, then
So +4 to make it 10.
that
10.
is the DC. That is the DC.
Okay.
So exhaustion 1, first level exhaustion is just checks, not saves. That's third
Gotcha.
level exhaustion. So
Okay.
so you just made it just barely for it. Everyone made it. So great. It is nighttime again. On the
Did she
second.
need my thing or not?
No, he just made it, so he wouldn't have. She wouldn't have needed it.
Okay.
So awesome. All right. The second night happens. I'm assuming everyone kind of gets into the rhythm, getting camp set up and getting things situated for it. Is anyone doing anything differently this night than the previous night?
Once the fire is started, I'm gonna start boiling down, trying to distill. I'm gonna set up my alchemy kit, try to distill down the antitoxin somewhat and make it a little more potent.
Okay. Roll
I'm
me
not
an
making
alchemy.
it for humanoid use.
Gotcha. Roll me an alchemy check then, as you're creating this kind of cluster for it all.
That's that roll. Please don't fuck this up. I'll take
Hey.
that. Yeah.
24 is definitely great. Like with a plus 11. All right. You push using your alchemy skills for it, and you are pretty sure, maybe with a little bit more tinkering, but you are on a solid path for it being. It is already beyond normal human consumption or humanoid consumption. This is now. It is so anti-toxic that it is toxic.
That it's toxic again. Yeah.
But it is a very strong, potent antitoxin for it. All right. Is it the same shifts for the previous night? For the night shifts watches?
I would, from a meta point of view, say why don't we switch things up so that when we do RPs, we can like
Yeah.
talk to different people.
Sure.
I will
Can.
say I absolutely cannot RP this week. It's Christmas.
That is true.
So why don't Alice and I stay together since we don't need to RP together?
Okay. Then that's fine. So would Chance or Lance, which one of you would want to switch with Big Red or Zanny for the first and second shift?
I'm fine with either one.
Yeah, I can go with. Do you still want to do mid then, Lance, or no, Brian?
I don't care either way. It's fine.
Okay, let's do it this way. Chance and Zanny for the second day.
Okay.
And then Lance and Big Red.
Okay.
And Zanny,
What?
then Lance and Big Red.
Okay.
Callie and Alice. And that is a good point. It is Christmas or holidays and such. Some people are going to be busy. I know I'm going to be busy for half of the week and then not busy the other half. So definitely okay for it all. So,
cool.
All right. During the, well, let's go with the first rolls. So Chance and Zanny, yeah, Chance and Zanny, roll me your perception checks, either separately or one with advantage.
I mean, all I got's a +4.
I got +4 too, so let's both roll.
Okay. I mean, either one of us rolling twice is the same as both of us rolling once. So let's just both fire one off.
Exactly. Maybe somebody has better dice
Woo!
today.
Awesome.
We're paying attention.
You
Yeesh,
guys are
damn.
paying a lot of attention right now for it. So great. Just roll one quick thing. All right. Is there, and you guys want to do like conversations, or you plan on doing any potential conversations at that point? So awesome. Um, hmm. Give me one sec. Let me think something. Okay. About nearing the, you have your normal shift and everything. And let me turn off the music for a moment. You both have your normal shift, and you start to see, at least in the distance, and Zanny, you rolled higher for the moment. It looks like a boar or a pig in the distance. Do you have night vision, by the way?
Let me double check. I do believe I do have dark vision. Yes, I do.
Okay. And how far is your dark vision?
60
60 feet?
feet is mine.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a grayish pig.
Chance, honey, do you see that?
I
It's
mean,
a-
I didn't roll much lower than you, so yes.
Can you make heads or tails of that thing?
Um, let let me pull out my small telescope and see if that works on land.
um, it does not. It is not like for it. I'll still allow you to try. Roll a perception check with it with disadvantage to see if you're able to kind of like recalibrate it quickly for it. No, you look at it and it's like, whoa, you're seeing kind of like a little bit too far off for things. What do you call those or my mind is blanking. What do you call those things like with the Navy when they have those
A
Spyglass.
periscope or a
spyglass?
spotting scope.
Thank you. You're trying you try to use it like a spyglass, and it's difficult because it's trying to see as far away. It's intended to see stars and such for it, or like at least zoom in on them as much as possible. And it kind of gives you like, whoa, that's dizzying for a moment. And then you start calibrating it. You do think that with some tinkering, you can make it into a makeshift spyglass, but in this moment, not so much. While Chance is doing that, Zanny, you do notice it is approaching.
Can
Okay.
I just real quick wreck my brain with like a nature check or something, try to
Sure.
think
Roll
of
a
what
nature
this
check.
would be. Good at these two. Oh, good. That's good. Okay.
You stare at it, and you stare at it, and as it's getting closer and closer, you're like, wait, is that the way it's moving?
It
Doesn't look
doesn't
like
belong here.
doesn't look like it belong. You're looking at it, its shoulders are more apish, but the way it moves is like a cross between an ape and a pig or a boar.
I'm gonna start knocking people's boots and waking them up.
Okay. As you are going about, who's the first person you try to wake up?
Red.
Okay.
Just first instinct is red.
Red, roll me a Constitution saving throw for me, please. Okay. You are not having a good sleep at the moment, and then suddenly Zanny is waking you up, and you're in a cold sweat as you're waking up. You're not sure why, just something feels wrong inside of you. But Zanny wakes you up. Zanny, what are you saying to Big Red?
Hey, sweetie, I think we got some company coming.
Immediately get my shit, my axe.
Okay.
Start getting other people going too.
All right. You go, you start walking. You're rubbing your eyes, trying to kind of like wake up, but your heart is pounding very quickly, Big Red. You're not sure why. And you're not feeling too good. But Zanny, and Chance, who are the next people you're waking up?
I'd go for M next.
M? Okay. And
Oh.
sorry, Chance, who are you waking up?
Lance.
Lance. So M and Lance, you are woken up. Big Red, roll me another Constitution saving throw, please. Okay. Big Red, you're having trouble breathing, and the moment comes where you just let out a guttural cry, a scream, and you are entering your rage.
Does
Everyone
anybody
wakes
else
up
see
just
this?
hearing Big Red scream at the top of his lungs.
What the fuck? What is?
Come on.
I just go run back over to him. What's wrong?
You just see his jaw is contorting. He's growing a tail. He's growing horns. His body's just contorting like it can't pick
What?
a body part that it wants to shift.
I'm gonna look out at the creature and see how far away it is.
It is very close. It is like 70 feet, and it's now charging.
Um,
You all smell this horrible scent in the air.
Can we see it then if it's only 70 feet away?
Yeah, and I'm about to pull it up right now. It is hideous. It is
Oh,
this
jeez.
teal-like creature, and it is now
Aw.
charging like a gorilla would with this
I'll boop the snoot.
pig-like face, and it's just reeking. Like you can see the smell just
Boop the
wafting
snoot.
off of its body.
What's going on there, stinky fella?
So, Big Red, you look. I need you to roll a Wisdom saving throw as you are glancing at Zanny, and she is the closest one next to you.
Oh, shit.
Okay, you grab her by the throat for a moment, and in your mind, you feel there is this element that is invoking just the beast inside of you. I also need Chance to also roll I'll say a wisdom save as well.
Sorry, Jenny.
Oh, you're not
Chance,
sorry.
you
Look at the
feel
smile on your face.
this, you feel a visceral hate boil in your blood to this creature. Your infernal blood loathes this entity. You still have control of your body and everything, but you just feel this intense disgust and hate towards this entity.
Demon.
Oh. What were you saying?
I said demon.
There you go. So
Um,
Chance says demon. This thing is now 60 feet away from you. What are you all doing?
as soon as it hits 60 feet, Lance is gonna cast Toll the Dead on
Okay.
it
I'm
because
I'm
that noise will
grabbing,
wake everybody else up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's already awake and going forward, but Zanny, what are you doing? As Big Red is just holding you and he's shaking. He's not attacking you yet, but you can see his body is reacting towards this entity.
He's got me by the throat, and this doesn't need a verbal component, so I reach into my pocket and I grab Leslie's finger, ring finger bone, and I'm gonna look over at that thing, whatever the fuck it is, and cast Grasping Ghost at it.
Okay. So first it needs to make wisdom save for against
Ghost.
Toll the Dead.
Chance's Toll the Dead. It does have advantage because it is demon, but it fails. So there's a big dong as it hits. Roll your damage. Roll your damage. Chance or sorry, Lance.
It's not missing any hit points, right?
No. And then Chance, you're saying you're gonna attack as well. I'm just looking at it right now. So
I'm not attacking.
Oops.
I'm casting something on Erlon.
Okay, we'll get
Sorry,
that.
the first one was the wrong roll. I rolled the wrong dice
Okay.
set.
10. Great. 10 points of necrotic damage. Let me just check something really quickly. Yep, that is good. All right, let's Chance, what are you casting on Big Red?
Oh, protection from evil and good.
Perfect. Immediately there's like a reaction. Big Red, you let go as you feel you're upset. You're upset that this thing is messing with you. Your jaw hurts. I mean, like if you had like teeth ache, it is horrible. Every part of you is hurting all at once, but you're in control for a brief moment. What are you doing?
You just said like immediately I'm kind of like just angry basically.
Yes.
All right, I would apologize to Zanny, but I don't know what's going on. I'm going straight at this thing.
Okay. You just start charging, and Zanny, you said you're casting a spell at this moment.
Yep.
So what is your spell?
It is grasping ghost. It is ghost. It is a strength saving throw. This thing's like at the very very edge of it.
Okay. It resists for it
Okay.
because I'm assuming 18 is a resist for or success.
It is a resistance.
Okay.
Not a huge bit, but it does do it.
You are charging, and you see this creature comes barreling at it. Everyone roll initiative, and I will give advantage to Big Red.
Hell yeah, Big Red.
This thing's gonna be big dead in a minute.
Hey,
Wait, how do I do it? Oh my gosh, how do I do it in the box again?
Click on your character first, then roll your initiative.
Then roll initiative. Okay, that's what I thought it was.
So have your character highlighted and then roll it.
Thank you. Oh my god, let's go. That was the wait, that's the
Natural
second
20
that's
for
the
Big
second
Red.
nat 20. Two
What was that?
in a row. I think that's the second nat 20 in a row.
Let's friggin' go.
Let's see.
You had that con save in the middle.
Oh
there's
wait, you're
con
right.
save.
You're right. Nope. It was
Yeah.
I had to do con save. Damn.
All right. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3,
Several of them tonight though.
4, 5, 6, 7. We're missing one person from the initiative. Let me double check. Alice, Lance,
I think it's Callie.
Lance, Callie. Yeah. Let's see. What did you roll, Callie? 16. Let me just add you onto it then.
She has a
It's
higher dex
always
than I do.
Callie. Callie's always doing something.
I assume she has a higher dex than I do.
Yeah, she definitely does.
Yeah, she probably does.
I would say if she doesn't have a higher dex than me, then she built her character not at all optimized in any way, shape, or form. You're on mute, Tim.
I made Dex my dump stat.
For gunsling. All right. Erlon, you enter into this rage, and for a moment, your body, as you're getting close, are you going to try to attack this creature?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I'm already in a rage from previously.
You are in a rage, but you are
Okay.
not fully transformed at this moment.
Okay.
What are you taking a swing?
Yeah, I'm immediately
Automatically
attacking.
have advantage because of that nat 20.
Alright.
For it. What is before you swing? What is Big Red's thoughts at this moment after apologizing and now rushing this demon?
Just pure just anger that something that was like this thing just came out of nowhere and started kind of not controlling me directly, but like had some kind of way of me hurting someone that I cared about.
Yeah, you didn't hurt her yet, but you grabbed
Yeah.
her forcefully. But you rage, you attack. Roll your attack with advantage.
All right, let's do it.
22 hits. Roll damage.
Fuck yeah. There you go.
12 slashing damage, and it is magical. Excellent. I don't think you have an extra attack, but you are able to action surge if you want.
Yeah, let's just attack it again. Might as well.
All right. Roll in a sec. You action surge. Roll a second time, with advantage still.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
26 hits. Roll damage.
Let's go.
16. How do you want to do this?
Shut up. Oh
And-
my God.
Yeah. So how do you want to do it? How do you want to cleave this demon?
The first hit, just really just dig into its like belly. And then just right before he kind of does another swing around, just literally scream Big Red
Yeah.
and just come right around on the other side of it.
Big Red, and it is squealing blood and gut and spit splashing on your face. It is a demon of the abyss, and you're just like Big Red. And as you slash and carve right through its head, there is a moment of just pure adrenaline,
Yeah.
and all of the rage, the transformations from your rage just cleans out in this crystalline moment. There are sparks of ruby light kind of like crackling around you for a moment, and you can officially change your subclass for your barbarian to
Cool.
berserker.
Awesome.
You're
Awesome.
out of initiative. All of you, well, before, as it's dying, it is a dretch, release a huge fart cloud right as it passes. So there's a loud as it just releases this within about, I think, let me double check.
Oof, what a stinker.
It's a very
Was that
wide
you?
range.
Was that you or the fiend, Red?
Just fucking dying of laughter.
So immediately, Zanny and Chance, you're caught in it. You just, the smell is everywhere. What is everyone reacting? The adrenaline is still pumping in you, Big Red, but you feel this is clean rage as opposed to tainted.
Uh, so literally it's just I don't know, just pure amazement that I was able to take it out. But also still thinking about like what the hell happened previously, like with Zanny, like what was like why did it have that control over me?
Yeah. Lance, roll an Arcana or Insight check for me.
I will use my inspiration.
Plus 11. Jesus.
19. One thing that immediately catches your eye, like you've studied different creatures in devils and demons. That was a dretch, and they are one of the weakest ones of the abyss. Number one, why are they here? And number two, it seemed much stronger than a normal dretch would be. And that's at least what you're thinking in this moment. Yeah,
Lance
what
is
is-
also thinking I just, sent Sheldon chasing after a demon or a devil, or is a devil, right?
Which one?
The dwarf.
Yes.
It's like, well, Lance is just thinking if there's a devil here, then maybe they're sending demons after it.
But what is everyone's reaction? I'm gonna kind of go through the scenes for it.
Did the
With
body
Lance,
poof?
you're the 17th. So anything you're doing or saying after Big Red has slain the demon?
Did the body poof?
It is disintegrating already. The smell still lingers though.
Lance just kind of looks and goes, huh. Where'd they dredge that one up? And I don't know if anybody else knows what that was, but he thinks it's funny, and he
Yeah.
kind of chuckles when he says it.
Anyone
looks
can
around
roll.
to see if anybody gets it.
Yeah, anyone can roll an Arcana or Religion check to see if they even know what it is. Chance, you have advantage just because of your nature, and you identified it very quickly. So Calliope, you actually know. Yep. Chance, you know. Big Red, you know.
Nope.
You do not. You have no idea what that. He's just Stinky Boy, as you were saying it earlier. But yeah,
A giggle pup. Now we have a stinky pup.
or Stinky Pig. But yeah, if no one else wants to roll, any of you can react to Lance's joke. Zanny, you know.
Immediate face palm.
There. Let's go then to Chance. Anything you're doing or reacting after the demon appearance?
It's just prestidigitating the smell and making little proofs of good smell around her.
Yeah, just trying to get it out, get it. Try to not let it sink into your clothes or anything. So, awesome. Going to Big Red. Anything you're doing after I'm presuming your rage drops because you aren't attacking
Yep.
anything.
Yeah, and I start walking after the rage drops. I just start walking over to Zanny and just going back to her and again apologizing for what happened.
No, stop. You okay?
I don't know what came over me.
Long as it stopped. Did
Yeah.
stop, right?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay. And that was something taking over you, right? I didn't just like piss you off.
No. No, I didn't even know what I was doing until just a second ago when I kind of just dropped you afterwards. So
Okay.
wasn't you pissing me off? I don't know what it was.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Really cranky in the morning.
Yeah, get him his coffee first. Fuck, man.
Let's go to M. Anything you're doing after the demon fiasco?
He's kind of wondering where this thing just came from. Should we I don't know, like look into if there's gonna be more of these things coming from wherever it just came, or
I can send Sheldon out.
that's weird. That's weird to happen, right? This isn't normal, or is this normal for this area?
I mean, nothing really normal about the desert, but I can send Sheldon that way to go fly and scout for us.
Well, something like that ain't normal for this plane of existence.
Yep.
So, like, where? Where'd it come from?
That's what I'm wanting to know. Should we go follow its tracks for a bit?
Well, Lance said he's sending Sheldon to do a flyby. So roll a perception check for Sheldon, Lance.
For a winged snake?
Yep. I don't think they get advantage on perception checks. So it's just a straight wisdom check.
What time is it currently too? If you
This
know
is
what I
right
mean.
before your shift, so it's actually like closer to 1 a.m.
Okay.
We're still in the middle of rest. I still got one more dose of something left, so I'll actually I have enhance ability prepared, so I'll give Sheldon enhance ability for Al's wisdom.
Awesome. Actually,
gives
just to retcon it,
advantage?
it is midnight. I'll say, not 1 o'clock. It is the witching hour of midnight. Roll one more time because Sheldon got advantage from Zanny. 19. through you wait there and you're looking through Sheldon's eyes for it, and it is fascinating seeing how a winged snake kind of like bobs their head a little bit, zooming. Normally, it would be a little disorienting for you, but because Sheldon, it's normal for him. It somehow becomes normal for you. And as you're looking through his eyes, as he's looking for a good 10 minutes, you search, and there is no discernible other demons about. A lot of the tracks have already been blown away by the sand, the night wind that blows about. You feel certain after about 15 minutes, at least there's nothing, no other demons lurking about for it. Which to you, Lance, as you know, you rolled a 19 for it. Usually the dretches are in hordes or mobs. So it's again weird or interesting that there's just one off for it.
Yeah. Well, Lance will say that. He'll be like, well, there's none out there, but that's almost weirder than if there was one out there.
Yeah, that
Okay.
seems how it makes sense.
And Lance, you would also make sure if you wanted to mention demons are from the chaotic evil, so chaos and evil elements.
Yeah. Demon bad, chaos, crazy. Woo.
Let's go then after that to Zanny. Anything you're doing after all of this said and done?
No, no. I was gonna go check in on Red, but he came checked in on me first. So
Got it.
after checking in on him, I turn around and I look back at the monster, and it's just like the last little bits of it are disintegrating away. It's like, yeah, maybe in the next one.
Lance was thinking the same thing. That's why he asked.
Callie, I think I might have accidentally skipped you. Anything you're doing after everything's said?
Everything seems to be under control, so she's going to put her head on her saddle and going to go back to sleep. Got to get sleep where you can.
All right. And Alice, anything you're doing after that? Unfortunately, you were away from the fetid cloud that it releases, but still, anything you're doing at this moment?
No, Alice heard a bit of screaming and it kind of like half woke her up, but then everything settled down pretty much immediately. So she's not really fully cognizant. She kind of just shrugs and rolls back over and goes back to bed because she was so low on that initiative order. She was just napping.
Just it woke up and then like
She
heard
like
screaming.
she
Check
heard
out
the
her,
bells toll and she was like, what was that? And then
and you heard
just
Erlon
silence.
scream, and then screaming still as he charged something. Then you heard a loud fart.
Lance is eating a snack too late again.
You're on mute, Lance.
Why is it always Lance that's got a fart?
Charisma 8.
He doesn't know
Everybody
better.
has butts. Everybody farts.
You take that back. Alice does not.
Have a butt?
No, it's pretty flat back there. That's why she wears like a bustle to fake it till she makes it.
Well, with all this walking, she'll get one eventually.
All right. Eventually, you all are able to settle in, and Big Red, it is time for your shift. You have your night shift with Lance for that second night. Is there anything you would be saying, or at least if you want to do it in here, or if you want to do it in the RP chat, we can. But anything you want to do at least at this moment.
That was some mighty fine magic you had there, Lance.
Oh, thanks. That one's very noisy. I don't like to use it often, but it's a spell called Toll the Dead. The more hurt something is, the more actually it hurts them.
Yeah. So what do you get with this whole demon thing finding us in the middle of the desert?
It kind of seemed like it really wanted to attack you. Like it was coming for you. That's kind of what it looked like.
Huh. I didn't piss anybody off.
Well, I mean, that's probably debatable, but yeah. No, I know what you mean, but like, yeah, it was weird because like they shouldn't be around here, and they normally hunt in packs, and the fact that it was just one of them, either it was coming for you or it was coming to send us a message as a group. And also
What kind
the
of
thing
mess? Oh, you're good.
was a little bit stronger than one would expect a creature like that to be.
What kind of message do you think it was trying to send?
Turn around, go back, die, something like that.
Huh. Let's see if we see any more on the way over to this.
Yeah, luckily I did have Sheldon do a scout, and we're clear for now, and I'll have him do some flybys the rest of our shift.
That's smart. For once.
Thank you. I do
Yeah.
try every once in a while.
I guess you're surprising me more and more. With your bells and shit.
Magic is interesting. I have a lot of spells that I don't always use.
Yeah, but you also just said earlier that you're just not the best necromancer there is.
Necromancy is one of those things that it's an advanced magic. Like, technically, the Told the Dead spell is a necromancy spell. The Wither and Bloom, where I suck the life out of something and give it to somebody else, is necromancy. But also, even Revivify, the spell that brings people back from the dead, like that clerics use, is necromancy.
Huh. I guess you are kind of useful.
I try to be.
We'll see.
Plenty of time to prove one way or the other.
And that's something you promised me.
It is.
For the two of you, roll perception checks.
Oh shit. We're just talking and there's like
Oh,
five
you
of
guys
them.
are just bantering.
I thought you said Sheldon.
He did. Necromancers are just clerics that got there too late. All right. With the help of Sheldon, the DC is lower, and you feel certain that there are no other enemies about for it. You eventually wake up Callie and Alice to get up and do their shift. Callie and Alice, roll your perception checks separately or with advantage with one person or another.
You can go with advantage.
All right. 12. There are a couple of times with Kelly when you're looking, you either get distracted by Puddin or anything, but overall you keep at least a good eye out, and you feel okay that there's no other enemies. Occasionally you kind of like walk the perimeter because you doubt yourself a little bit, but otherwise you feel certain that there hasn't been no issues for anything.
How's my exhaustion?
At this point you got a long rest, so your one level of exhaustion is gone.
Thank you. She'll make breakfast again.
Yeah, great. Just one thing. Okay. All right. That night, Zanny, roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
I came to fear these fucking words in campaign 1, and here we go again. Is this a magical effect?
Yes.
Okay, I get advantage.
Every character never wants to hear the words. And there's not 20. But no player wants to hear the words. Roll me a wisdom saving throw in the middle of his sleep. Actually, you wanted this, so
You trained me. Well, is this someone that I've talked to before?
no.
Okay. Then I will attempt to resist. I don't know what that is then. I don't know what or who that is.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Is Zanny's psyche, when she approaches difficult tasks or difficult things that are difficult to understand, does she revert more to a logic base, more towards a philosophical base, or just try to sheer willpower it?
Logic. If all else fails, she just tries to brain her way out.
Perfect. Intelligence. You rolled a nat 20, so roll me a intelligence check with advantage.
Well, I didn't know I was metaing myself into. Ooh, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use that DM inspiration or that journal inspiration
All right.
on a 14. Roll again at advantage or just standard?
Go ahead, roll again with advantage.
Okay. Okay, way better.
Zanny. Zanishara. You remember Geith's conversation he had with you the previous day. As you sleep and as you rest, you naturally enter a certain state of mind. When Zanny sleeps, does she usually, or at least her subconscious, want to have dreams or more of a peaceful slumber without dreams?
It really depends on the stress level. Right now, she's not really wanting dreams. She's trying to not really have many fanciful thoughts.
You are in a pitch black area, a void, if you will. And all around is darkness. And there is peace that comes very quickly as you enter this state of mind. And eventually, though, you start to see stars forming all around you. Not near you, but just a canvas all around you. And you can focus and you feel a vision is right within your grasp. Do you try to push to see the future?
Yeah, not entirely sure how. I think the first inkling that she has, though, is one of her first fail safes, which is does she have an eye patch on right now?
In this world of your mind, no.
Is her eye there?
It's glowing. It is an orb of light, reminiscent to the paintings and drawings they've mentioned of some Ori.
She's gonna put her hand over her good eye,
And you
and
can see
that's
translucent. It is a vision you recognize, especially rolled high. You recognize what is going on. You have the ability to control it at this moment. You hit a certain frame of mind, of Zen. And you have the ability to control it, to look forward in the future, or perhaps even look back in the past. Because as you are in this state of mind, you realize time is continuous. The line between future and past is sort of a weave of possibilities collapsing into one line heading back into the past, but it is all the same current.
um instinctually and without even knowing why or how she knows to do this because it makes no sense. She reaches out and she starts like she's got one hand over her good eye covering it and she's actually looking through her glowing eye and she's reaching out with her other hand and it's like she's grasping a dial like she's trying to turn a radio dial or something.
Forward or back?
She's trying to turn it back first.
You feel this moment. What are you searching for in the past?
Um the very first thing that comes to Zanny's heart is she just wants to see Leslie's face.
And you see it. You see Leslie. You see the time you spent in a collage the past being much more certain than the future. You start to see the first time you met, the first time you went on an adventure, the first time you went out, first kiss, the first time, all the firsts in a beautiful myriad of a beautiful collage of Leslie, and you can almost discern from pulling it, especially with the nat 20 and the logic, you can almost imagine what advice he would be giving you in this moment right now.
Whatever advice I'd be ignoring, obviously.
And he knows you would have ignored it. And there is a wave, reification of joy, not necessarily reliving the past, but just the vividness of every moment coming back. And yet you're not trained yet to be able to pull other information selectively from it. This is your first vision,
Yeah.
but you do just have that collage of it all.
She openly weeps and is
And
it's
as
just
the
the
emotions take the better of you, breaking your concentration from that analytical mind that you mentioned, you do wake just as everyone else is waking up.
oh, okay, that happened. Bloody fucking hell.
You all gather about. We're going to time skip a little bit to the third day. We are going to first roll with Lance. Since Zanny, you rolled the last one for day 2. Lance, roll me a d20 for this day. A 4. Okay. Is that your final answer?
And I don't have. Yeah, we're gonna roll with it. TPK.
You all start pushing forward, or before you start pushing forward, you all get into kind of like the rhythm, break camp, gather your stuff about, and head out. And everyone is helping M go forward. There's definitely a lot of wind today, and the sand is starting to pick up much more violently, as maybe a sandstorm is blowing, or is the big one about to form. But M, roll, even with advantage, it's canceled out by the disadvantage with it. Roll a straight survival check. Or there we go, 15. Okay, you're still pushing through the sandstorm that is now started coming in full force during the morning for it. Still, you're able to do a solid a few hours for the trip in the morning for it. Sandstorm is not abating. It's not a huge one, but it's still enough to keep giving disadvantage with things. So roll the second one for the afternoon to see how you're doing there. Natural 1.
Whoopsies.
Okay.
Do you have inspiration or no?
I do not.
Okay, you can take mine.
All right.
All right.
Using Erlon's inspiration, go ahead and re-roll that straight. Yeah, make up for all those.
Technically better.
10. Okay. So,
Do you want my wizard magic?
I think you want the wizard magic in the sandstorm. So use Chance, you're starting to see M doubt, especially because he's not like all of you are getting kind of like slowing down a lot from it. You use your chronomancy abilities and M roll one more time that survival check. You went from a 9 to a 10.
One more time. One
more time.
Third time's the charm, right?
Come on, use your Fey magic.
There we go. The dice has 2 ones on it this time. That's better.
There you go.
A 1, a 2, and then 2 ones.
That's twice as good as the first one.
All right. So great. Everyone roll Constitution saving throws. This is not heat related, but this is with the sand battering you and you coughing a lot. So this is going to be for the sand of it. Yeah, Erlon, you're spitting just sand and coughing. Calliope, you're the same, and Zanny, you all 3 of you take 1 point of exhaustion. The DC is 10, but you 3 take 1 point of exhaustion. It's not a high DC, but it is. They keep hitting because this is the long trek of it all.
Yeah.
All right. It is, you keep pushing forward. The storm is still strong in the night, but it is waning a little bit. You're not sure if it's about to break, but you keep pushing because you want to
Whoops.
maximize that third
I just
day.
rolled mine. It was in that one.
Okay,
Just
yeah, that's a
FYI.
nat.
Oh
That's a
shit.
nat 1.
I used up all my good rolls.
Are you a camel right now?
Yeah, he's a camel.
Should he get
Yeah.
advantage because camels have things, membranes that protect their nose from sand?
Yes.
That is true. So you have advantage. Re-roll that.
Yeah, animal
Zubux
facts
for the win.
that the
Animal
druid
fact
should
for the
know.
win. This is why you want the camel. Calliope
This is
not, or
why
sorry,
you watch
Puddin is
Nat
not
Geo.
doing good, but the camels are. But yeah, roll one more time. 12. I said the DC was 10. You're good. So perfect. All right. Into the evening. Roll one more survival check. You guys are getting close
Dear
and close
Lord,
to
stop
that.
making me roll. Jesus Christ.
You're the one leading.
I know, but my rolls are bad right now.
All right, survival check straight.
That's a
By
good
the way,
roll.
all
It's
of you
close
have
to a really
sand
good
in
one.
every pocket and in every crevice. All right. Yeah. You push forward one more time for it all, leading the way, and in your mind, and right as it is now, the sun is setting and it is dark and it is still the sand is blowing, but you feel like you're almost pretty much like right there to the oasis, but it is heavily obscured by the sand everywhere for it. And all of you are getting more and more exhausted with things. Everyone roll one more con save. Okay. I think the last ones that people that actually wear are Erlon, Calliope, and Zanny. And then, were you about to say something, Chance?
Yeah, I'm gonna use luck point.
Okay, use your luck point. Reroll it. DC's 10, so you're good. Lance, that's a nat 1. That's 2 points of exhaustion.
Do you want a wizard magic?
Probably.
He's like,
I just used one today, so I have 2. Okay, yeah, have a wizard magic.
So I just re-roll it.
Yeah.
All right, you do not suffer 2 points of exhaustion. Zanny, you are at 2 levels of exhaustion, and you're the only one that suffered that adverse effect. So your speed, your movement speed is now cut in half. But all of you feel that you are, or according to when M kind of like reverts back, all of you are tired from the long journey, but you are probably less than an hour away from the oasis. But it is a very volatile or obscured sandstorm at this moment.
So we dig in and camp.
Is that what you all are deciding?
There's something to be said for attacking during a sandstorm.
Is a thing to not do it?
I think that we have an advantage right now. Who'd be crazy enough to do that?
Not us.
Only
I
dead
mean,
people.
Sure.
sometimes things are crazy to do because like they're just crazy to do, and you probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah, there's that too.
Words of wisdom.
What were you saying, Aaron?
I have an idea. If if Danny is up for it,
I'd
You
give
could-
anything a try right now.
we could try to see what our odds are attacking in an hour. What the
We can give
situation
it-
might look like.
Yeah, we can give that a try. I had a bit of a thing last night.
And we practiced before that. So we're going to practice again. And I'm going to see if we can look an hour into the future.
Well, you're doing that. It's an hour away, you said?
Yep, about an hour away.
How long would it take Sheldon to fly there?
With the sandstorm, I'm going to say about an hour because the sand is pushing against him.
Okay.
But yeah, Zanny and Chance, are you both trying to look into the future and such?
Well, I would say since Danny is exhausted, she'll be the like the he said to have like an anchor. So she'll be
Mhm.
the anchor one, and I'll look. And if anybody has I don't suppose you have Mind Fortress or whatever it is.
oh no, not yet.
I don't.
I believe that's a
Don't look at
fourth
me.
level spell too.
I thought it was a second level, but
Although the intellect fortress. Gotcha. Yeah, Infort's at second. No, I don't have that one.
I think it's saved.
All right.
Is it saved
No.
or is it?
Well, first you both are gathering about, and you kind of go over a little bit what Guy told you, relaying it to Zanny. First thing is entering a good state of mind to meditate. Or I'm presuming, are you trying to do it the traditional way, Chance?
For the moment, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, we did this last night before bed.
Okay.
This is
I'll say, yep, we'll RP kind of like how the first time went. So you kind of are discussing it with it. So Zanny and Chance, both of you roll wisdom checks.
no, that's what I was trying to ask before we got into that, whether it was a save or a check.
It's a check.
Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and cast Enhance Ability.
On yourself or Zanny?
Uh,
There's no point in
you
doing it
know
on me.
what? You know what? Let's do a third level and let's do it on both of us.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
All right. You upcast it third level. Yeah, both of you roll wisdom checks with advantage to try to meditate. And I'm assuming you're doing this in a tent away from the blast of sand.
Yeah, we try to make
So-
it as chill as we can.
Okay.
Damn.
Chance or
Ooh,
not.
I'm gonna go ahead and what did I used elect point. I did not use my inspiration.
All
No.
right,
Go ahead and
roll your inspiration.
try that again.
DC was 15. So you make it with 16. 16 is the magic number always. So you, for a moment, feel a mental block. Perhaps you wonder, you're not sure what is blocking your mind as you're trying to reenact this for a moment. But then you kind of calm down, reorient, and focus. And you know why. This is wisdom. This is based on your conscious effort for it, as opposed to intelligence or sheer willpower. You slow down your breathing. You enter into this meditative state, the two of you. Zanny, this is very easy, surprising for you, but you just are instantly able to enter into it, especially after kind of like last night's dream vision for it. You both are entering this sort of state, and slowly the sound of the wind, the sand peppering and battering the side of the tent fades until you both are starting to just enter this black void as your consciousness is entering this moment between moments. I'm going to ask each of you, is this what you want, like your intent? Because this is very important with it, to try to see. So Zanny, is it your intent to see and act as anchor? And if there's any doubt, that is going to come into play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I'm here.
same question for you, Chance. Is it your intent to see the future as clear as possible?
Yes, I am trying to follow the group. Should we go to the oasis? So I'm projecting onto the oasis.
All right.
In
Looking into the future, especially with the help of Zanny, you definitely are feeling like the anchor system, the buddy system, definitely seems to have its pros for it. You're not being pulled suddenly or deviating off course as you peer into the infinities and possibilities. You start to see the future, and I'm going to ask, are you trying to approach this analytically using intelligence or more philosophically for it, as Guy mentioned?
Probably more analytically.
Okay. Roll an intelligence check for me then, please.
On the other hand, I already gave myself the advantage on wisdom, so maybe I should have gone the other way, but fine. It's fine. It's not fine. It's a luck point.
All right. I think that's your last luck point.
Nope, that's my second luck point, and also that didn't do me any good.
Second. Okay. Relying on the calculations and the things that you've learned through that time, you are able there's not a lot of different possibilities, but you feel like you could have done better in this sense. It takes a while, it takes longer to peer into the future of it, but you do start to see the stars that appear start to flow towards you and provide that stream as you are analytically examining things using the calculations, the formulas that you learned, especially through chronomancy, to divine the future. You see the possibilities start to appear. And Zanny, you see this vision too. There are creatures there. Those are more constant. You notice there are also demons there. Though you're not sure if they are dretches or something else, but there does seem to be a rather large group that are currently hunkering down because of the sandstorm. You see a few different futures start to pop up, different strategies. You hear kind of like Lance's voice talking about strategy, about maybe a two-prong approach or just a one-prong approach. You hear others talking and debating, getting split up or like surrounding them. Could be good to kind of like draw them out, but they are kind of like hunkered into one defensible position around the oasis themselves. And one of them, you see a serpentine head on a human body with vials of poison near the lake or near the oasis itself, the waters. And you are able to pinpoint, both of you, who it would be that you would have to be careful of if they were to try to poison the waters.
I guess.
Good.
One of the things that I was trying to, I guess, find out with this vision was whether we were gaining any benefit from the sandstorm on.
Gotcha. You do see a few futures where Zanny is exhausted and kind of like slowing down. You see Calliope's gun Bullets are veering or range attacks having an element of disadvantage. But you also do see one future being plucked of with a successful stealthing. You guys could ambush them right up close as they would not see you coming. There are possible futures where it can work, especially because you only rolled an 11, where it can work, but also some dangers if you're spotted or are caught farther away. And
we
with
have
that,
3 people that are exhausted in the party, right?
yes. And one of them has double exhaustion with Zanny. And with that, you do start to see a little bit of, in the distant future, sun. And you're wondering if that is an indicator that tomorrow the sandstorm may break. But just as you're kind of glancing, the two of you, into the away from like that 1 hour future vision, you all both are pulled away and return back to the present.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense when someone else is there.
Yeah, it has its pros and cons. Um, but I guess we should sort of fill in the group. We'll do so. There isn't a clear advantage to doing it now because so many people are exhausted. On the one hand, maybe it will help our stealth, but on the other hand, not being exhausted in the morning, if we can make it through the night without them seeing us, which the sandstorm should help with, tomorrow might be better. Any inputs from anyone else? Thoughts?
I'm inclined to say we wait.
I've got selfish reasons for the same thing. One foot in front of the other is pretty hard right now. I don't entirely trust my aim.
And that was a little harder than I intended it to be, and so I may have used some of my resources in playing with time, which I should have back tomorrow.
Now, I mean, in interest of full disclosure, if we are going to try to ambush him, I do have these, and I do produce the cluster of grenades that I purchased early on.
You said if we were to go now, they're all clustered together.
They do appear to be more closer together, yes. Or they did in the vision. They did appear to be more clustered together. Not exactly like line by line, but more around the oasis. They were using more of the trees of the oasis as sort of like buffer against the winds and the sands.
How many grenades do you have?
I got a smoke one over here. Actually, Callie, we might want to try to use this one for our little plan. And then I got a concussion one over here, and then I got one that just goes fucking boom.
Both Zenny and Chance, roll me after the vision has kind of like faded. I did mention there were a few constants in the vision. Roll me an intelligence check, both of you.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's fine. You didn't account at that moment.
Oh, I'll take
Hey.
it.
Okay, you 22. You have an accurate head count. Zanny was more focused on seeing it. You were the anchor. You were kind of like more reserved for it. You have a head count. It appears that. Oh, good.
I was going to say, I guess that makes sense. I was just trying to get us there. You look at it. I'm getting us there.
Exactly. And Zanny, you were more analytical about kind of the shapes. You get the feeling that there were at least 4 demons. You rolled above 20. Jesus. Or you saw like 2 warrior
No, well,
like
I will be honest. It's 20 because I have disadvantage because of exhaustion.
Yep. But it's still a dirty 20. You saw 3 medium-sized serpentkin, and you saw 1 large serpentkin.
Oh, that's the one.
So the one that had the vials was not the large one.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So,
So a total of 4, 3, 8 this moment.
but two major targets, the big one and the one carrying the poison. And if we can take them out, or at least take out the poison one first, and then get on that big guy real quick, we could turn this real fast.
Was he carrying the poison or was it strapped to him somehow?
That part was a little fuzzy because of the 11. You're not entirely sure.
I just more like I saw, probably just saw like vials in their hands.
Yeah.
That's
Or-
perfect. If he's holding on to those vials, I can probably take him out of his hand.
What's the range on throwing a grenade?
I think it's like 20, 40.
Yeah, it's
However, I will say everything has any range has disadvantage because of the sandstorm.
Sure. Yeah. makes sense.
There's such a famous phrase called "close enough counts in horseshoes and hand grenades."
I've played both of those.
I'm
and that is
not saying
correct.
no. Notice I didn't say no.
I just have to get it close. Like if we have 3 blast grenades, because you have a boom grenade, a concussion grenade, and I have a shrapnel grenade left, we just need to get it within close-ish.
So I will
And
for
if we get all 3 of those to go off at the same time, if he's standing right there, he's going to be pink mist.
Mm-hmm.
potentially. I will. Well, we'll see how it goes. For that, he is close, or they are close to the water. So a boom grenade may push him into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to put that out there.
Okay, we put one behind him, pushing him away from the water, one pushing him to the water, and one underneath him, so he goes up and just rains.
Great.
So I will ask,
What
just for the sake of time, are we planning on doing a night assault on the Oasis, or are we planning on a day assault on the Oasis?
Let's bomb this bitch.
Vote.
So I'll just,
Uh,
for the sake of DM, just taking it because it's right now we're at 10. I'm gonna do a vote. So chance, night or day?
I'm saying tomorrow.
All right. Day. Zanny, night or day?
I know we got a good plan, but my speed is currently 10 feet around, so I'm voting day.
Okay. Big Red, night or day?
Shit.
It is not an option. I don't know what time shit is.
I don't know because it's more. It's there's kind of no glory in like fighting that way. I'm kind of just like a little bit hesitant in that aspect. I want to get into the fight immediately, but just bombing the crap out of them doesn't seem like it's. I don't know.
Big
It's not
Red
right.
is noble.
No,
As honor.
no, I want to get into the fight. I do want to fight immediately, but it's just like, yeah. Well, I mean, I can hold my own. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, but which one though? Day or night? Sounds like you want to just fight, which you can either option, but which one? Day or night?
Uh, I'll go for the next day.
Day.
I
Okay.
guess.
Callie, day or night? I think you were kind of like indicating night, but I want to make I
Night.
don't want to put words. Night. Okay.
100% night. Now,
Lance, day or night?
Day and night.
Lance doesn't care. Lance's plan can take effect either way. It involves a lot of booms.
Okay. Well, I think a yes or a no. Which one? Or day or night? Which one?
We ride at dawn.
Dawn, day it is. So we have 4 days. That is what it's gonna be.
Jesus.
That'll help solve it. So, all right. The adventurers have arrived at the oasis, and at dawn, we attack. All right. More shifts can happen during the night. We will see what happens. Well, actually, just for record, who's doing what shifts at night? Are we doing the same ones for the second night?
I think we're swapping again, so I'll be with Zanny.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I
then
think-
that's,
Yep, perfect.
and
I think
Zanny's
we
gonna
need to
take
give
first shift
Zanny the
this time
night
around.
off, though. I think we should excuse Zanny from
And
a
M
shift.
could potentially do it because he doesn't. Well, yeah, we can.
Yeah, I can take a watch.
So,
Especially
Okay.
if we do the first one, he'll get plenty of sleep.
yep. All right. Well, that was a fun one. So, you guys made it to the Oasis in less than 3 days, technically 2.5.
Yes.
Thanks
There you
to
go, Alice.
them
So
just
Alice will
doing
see Bruce, hopefully.
so many.
And then
yeah.
we get caught up all with all the sandstorms on the way back, and it takes us 6 days to get back.
It takes us
Yeah,
double.
No,
Yeah,
Hopefully
real
not. Don't
nothing
put
but
that
one.
bad
Learn how to
juju out
teleport.
there.
Hey, hopefully there's a sand boat here that we can steal when we leave.
Sans gift. Yes.
Let's not put a grenade in that.
Yes, please no. I want to fix that. And if that exists somewhere, I want to take it. It's mine. I want to take it.
All right, all. This was fun. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. Thank you again for watching. For everyone out there, with past, present, future, wishing everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we'll see you all next time. So, till then, take care. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Yes.